All right. Hello, everybody, again, and welcome. It's time to play Sorcery, wherein you are a fighter magician person with many available spells to you. All about the role playing and character development that you get to choose because you pick the options. Here we go. Sorcery, Part 1, The Shamutani Hills. See, it's like totally quiet. I don't have it muted, it's just total silence right now. We're gonna play the lady, hand out, ready for an extra sword here for some additional stabbing. Like a choose your own adventure book. That's pretty accurate. See, here's the music entering in. You have walked the wilds of Kakabad, through Care and the spiteful backlands, all the way into Manpang. You have survived traps, thieves, serpents, and vengeful gods. And now it is here, the crown of kings. I'm ready to get crowned. It is said the crown was never forged, only found by the Chalana the Reformer, a lowly foot soldier who became emperor of the Eastern world. Such is the power of the crown. The air around it crackles with influence. I take the crown. Your destiny awaits. With the crown in your hands, you will be as powerful as Chalana. The goblins are arming, the giants are waking, and the birdmen carving cruel daggers from stone. War will come, but you will prevent it. But then the image of the crown begins to flicker. You rush forwards. Oh no, it's a trap. And startle yourself awake. You are alone, exhausted, in the little hut in the outpost settlement. Your unimaginable journey is not even a single step begun. Well, shit. Here I thought we were gonna start out with high action, get right into being the very best. Start with the crown. But no. We're a fucking nobody in Nowheresville. Here we go, Steve Jackson's Sorcery. We do a... Oh, look! There I am! It's me! We go into my little square house. It is sunrise. You dress, breakfast on bread and goat's milk, and collect the pack and sword from beside your bed. Now, at the same time, I'm going to have to consider and say, what kind of person am I? Or not me, but this me over here. Who am I? What sort of personality do I have? Goat's milk? I would prefer cow's milk, but I couldn't afford the cow, so I'm stuck with a goat. So, would I just straight wake up, eat breakfast, and be like, it's time to practice my blade, and I swing it around, or would I say, oh, no, I have to go for the luck, and I pray? Or do I just wake up, eat, and leave, because I gotta stay on track, gotta do business? I'm gonna practice my weapon. Gotta stay powerful. You pause to test the blade is against your thumb. The blacksmith has done well. The edge is keen and draws a narrow line of blood. Ow! Now I'm gonna need a band-aid. Outside the hut, you hear the outpost settlement stirring into life. That isn't very much. I thought I was testing my blade as in, like a little bit of practice, not just like slicing my hand on it. But alright, I guess now I need a band-aid. We'll pray for luck before we exit. Taking a moment more, you close your eyes and raise a prayer to your spirit guide. This morning, it has the form of a panther. But what will it become once your journey truly begins? A great, oh my god, I'm tripping over my words here. A great calm descends on you. And we can see, yeah, here's Panther up here in the corner. I guess since it has the form of a panther, what will it become? That's probably going to change then as the game progresses. And it does show that I'm in the sorcery category, so on my stream end, so I don't know, maybe try refreshing and it will show properly for you? Alright, time then to depart. You lift back the flap of the hut and step into the early morning sunshine. Alright, here we go. I take out onto the path and head straight to the outpost settlement. There is no time to waste. Eyes follow you as you leave the hut and walk towards the great Shamutanti wall. The frontiers people of this tiny settlement are well aware of your mission. I say hi. Hey everybody, how's it hanging? They're probably gonna ignore me, right? You turn to them and bow. Some smile in reply, but are too afraid to approach. Others make gestures of protection. You are going beyond the wall, so they believe you to be cursed. Oh, but really? I guess people who are cursed just have to go through the wall for some reason? A man is waiting on the path to the Cantopani Gate, the final doorway between Analand and the wilds of Kakabad. You recognize the sergeant of the Sightmaster Warriors. He holds out his hand. He does look pretty fancy. Wow. Wait? No. I friendly greet everybody here, and then I just shove in and be like, I gotta stay focused. Perhaps my character, gotta be charismatic, friendly to the people nearby. That way I can pull in followers of me. I greet him. He touches his forehead with 2 fingers. You are almost ready, my lady, he says. I have a gift for you from the king. 24 gold pieces. It is all we can spare this time. He holds out a pouch. What? Only 24? Should be giving me more, but whatever. Fine, I take it. You accept the gift graciously, rolling my eyes. Thank you. You should buy some supplies before you pass the wall, the sergeant says. And you must collect your spellbook if you wish magic to aid you. Finally, should you wish to practice your swordplay, I will go one last round with you. And he points his staff towards the training ground. Alright, doing a little bit of sword practice, probably a wise idea, so I walk with the sergeant to the training ground, and he wraps the base of his staff in leather. I prepare my sword. To begin, the sergeant says, we will practice the stances. First, defend yourself against me. Choose your attack power by dragging your character sideways. To defend, stay fully left. So if I don't move, so I can move myself and just, straight up stab him. He says, all right, defend yourself. And I say, ha ha, no. And then I stab him. I'll go ahead and just wait. Wait? No. Even though I might be friendly, do what I want. I lunge at him. The Sightmaster is a powerful enemy. By defending, you will receive the minimum damage from any attack he makes. But instead, you attack! The Sightmaster Sergeant chooses a light attack, betting yours will be even lower. So your attack damages him. Well, okay, my next attack will be one of my strongest, he declares. If you can perform a full attack, you may overpower me. But otherwise, you had best defend yourself. Seeing as I just did a very strong attack, probably better to defend then. That way I just take that 1 point of damage. You defend yourself. The Sightmaster Sergeant attempts a strong attack, but you receive only a small amount of damage. He will be weaker now, so his next attack will be lower. My next attack will be weak, he declares. You will be able to overpower me by applying a stronger attack. But be sure your attack is stronger. over here I can see, I assume how much power he has available to him, which is 8.2. So if I do a hard stab of him, at most I can do 6. So unless he does more than that, less than that, well, that'll affect whether I win or lose. Whatcha? Wow, you did a whopping 0.3 apparently. You play a strong attack, overpowering the Site Master Sergeant. He bows. You have finished me. Excellent. 1 stamina lost, but skilled swordplay. I think 8.2 was his last move. Oh, yeah, you're right, because 8.2 he had just done. Alright. So then you probably instead math it out and say, at maximum they have this many points. Last round they did 8.2, so they only have this amount left, probably. Okay. You seem to remember the basics, the sergeant says, breathlessly. Good. Another round? Do I get some more power if I train again? I nod. Ready your guard? What if I just come out swinging then? Nope. He defends. I wonder if he almost wants me to do the... I like he did the exact same thing, though. He defended. I did a hard stab on him. He did a hard stab on me. I defended. And then we just go back and forth in this manner. I'm going to defend again. Hang on. Saying I will defend myself, we'll go ahead and defend then too. Most of the time, though, the characters aren't going to be like him and be saying, yo, my next attack is gonna be like this. They won't be doing that. We're gonna have to figure it out on our own and risk death constantly. Enough training. I finally have time to watch the stream. Well, that's pretty good. Thank you, Battle Sheep, for resubscribing for 6 months. Appreciated. Very nice. Alright. One of the huts, set slightly back from the others, is decorated with glyphs and strange symbols. A terrible smell emanates from its doorway. This is the hut of the Chief of Magic. He has been prepping your spell book for days, reading star charts to work out which spells will be available to you in the different locations in the hills and beyond. I am definitely going to take the book. It would be very bad to not take it. And I go inside and he asks, do you understand how to use this? Yeah. No, I don't. I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me. And the category isn't loading for you either, or RCPF? That is strange. Let me see over here. If I just reload the category, if it'll load in. Huh. Refreshing the page, it's gone now, too. Sorcery. Parts 1 and 2. Done. Apparently Twitch hates it. It says, what? Sorcery? That sounds stupid. I don't want to put that on. I'll just go ahead and put it without the parts 1 and 2 section, and I'll just stick it into the sorcery category, and let's see if that makes it appear. Yes, that works. Twitch hates sorcery. Alright, there we go. Twitch only supports holy magic, apparently. Now it should show alright, so instead of saying parts 1 and 2, it will say sorcery. Since we're playing part 1, that's why I've selected just that one. It works. Alright, there we go. Now you can see that I am playing that at least, even though it doesn't specify 1 and 2. Alright, so then I ask the mage to tell me about this book. So, each spell is crafted through the alignment of 3 stars, he begins. The spell Zap, for example, is made by aligning Zarathustra, Aegis, and Peony. But that is not important. What matters is what the spell is called and what it does. Zap will give you control over lightning. Hot will create a fireball. Buff will create a force field around you. Shall I continue? I feel like I should maybe casually have a notepad to keep track of these. What does the Pog spell do? I don't know. Is Pog even a spell? Alright, Zap is lightning. Hot is the fireball, the one that I will be using all of the time. And now I'm going to give all of chat assignments to remember what 3 different spells are, and we'll all just split our knowledge together. So whenever we get to areas where we can use spells, be like, okay guys, I know that I can use lightning, fire, and force field. What spells do you remember that I'm able to use? Can I use it here? And then we will collectively be wizard. Tell me more, Mr. Guy. Alright. Here's law. Allow you to control the will of unintelligent creatures. So control will of stupid. And wall spell uses different stars. The order matters, you see. Wall creates an invisible barrier. And you will find the rest in the book, he says, tapping the leather-bound volume. Law to control chat? Oh, come on, don't sell yourself short, chat. I think you're pretty smart sometimes. What if I just straight ask him I want to know more? Oh, he is going to tell me a little bit more. But yeah, the spell book does have all of the spells written in it. And hoo boy, there are quite a lot. So we've got Dop for locks. Walk is shield. And dumb will cause clumsiness. I look over at chat pointing. Ahem, I cast dumb. And then all of chat becomes very clumsy. What? Fortunately, you're all sitting down already, so it's not like there's much opportunity there to, you know, trip over yourself or something. Cast up. Snipe everyone. Oh. Small traders in the settlement supply the Sightmaster warriors with weapons, armor, food, and clothing. You go over with the sergeant to a stall selling flatbreads and cheese. 2 gold pieces per ration, the owner says. I want to hoard my money. It's time to haggle with him. Do you know who I am? I'm Anlen's great new hope. Oh, wait, that's me talking? Well, do you know who I am? I'm Anlen's great new hope, you tell him. The man looks uncomfortable. I know that, but I have to feed my family today, whatever happens to the crown. I buy nothing and I leave. What, not gonna give me a discount? I'm leaving. Caco, I'm cutting vegetables. Please, no clumsy. Too late. I cut myself purposefully on my blade earlier. Now you're gonna cut yourself accidentally. I suppose I will buy 2 rations and be on my way. I hand over my coins, and the man places 2 rations carefully into your pack. You must be sure to eat every day or you will suffer. Oh, that's the sergeant talking. Oops. I'm gonna end up doing, if I do any voices for characters, I'm gonna end up reading them the wrong way round because it tells me who's talking after they speak. So then I read this assuming it's the shopkeep, but no, it was the sergeant apparently. Eating more will give you extra strength, but is not necessary. Well, let's go ahead and head on out. You reach the foot of the mighty gate. It is sealed. The sergeant places one hand on the wood. The gate has been locked for some time to deter raiders, he tells you, but you will have no difficulty. The stars in this place allow the DAP spell to be crafted. And he stands back. Very well. Now you could do as he says, but imagine if hot was an option and you cast that, and instead I just set fire to the door instead. We'll go ahead and be good. We'll withhold our fireball casting, and we'll just unlock the door. You weave the spell. One by one, the great tumblers of the door begin to crack and groan. Then the hinges turn with a noise like hail on a canvas roof. These gates have not opened since our last champion was lost, the sergeant says. I wish you more luck than he. Perhaps you will even meet him on your travels. I was driving when you cast dumb. What the fuck? Oh. I hope you didn't crash. That wouldn't be very good. Or, like what Skelly says, that your insurance covers magic-related accidents. But hello, and welcome to the stream. What about hop, jump over? Oh my god, that's what I should have done. You know, gave myself a super jump. Just jump over the wall. If I overtake him, then he is too slow. I look down on the champion. The Sightmaster nods, peering at something on the horizon. I believe he is returning, but transformed. Hope you do not meet the same fate. He claps you on the shoulder. That sounds ominous. I guess now I enter it. Together you step into the shadow of the wall. One last word, he declares. When you have the crown, find the highest point you can. We will be watching. I'm not gonna question where they're watching from. I'm just gonna say, yeah, alright. I will not wish you a safe journey to Care, for the way ahead will not be safe. The sergeant murmurs as he peers into the distance through the open gate. The Sightmaster warriors are selected from birth for their incredible powers of telescopic vision. You can't help but wonder how far he can see. We should maybe ask him what's ahead then if he can see a little bit, because, you know, that'll give us some extra knowledge for preparation purposes. Well, this path leads first to Cacophony, a settlement of traders. The most are rogues and thieves. You should be there before the sun has reached its peak. From there, 3 routes lead on to Cristatante, but no single route is safe. Cacobad is the land of devils. Oh! Well, I'm just gonna cease talking, and let's go ahead and just go right on with our journey. It's time to go. You thank him. You pass through the gate. The faces of the folk watching your departure reveal the hopes that rest on you and your quest. The early morning air is crisp, and a rising sun paints the slopes in shades of peaceful beauty, concealing the evil that lies ahead. The land of bad cock. That's it. That's where we're heading. Cock-a-bad. The path winds through slopes of wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, and the eerie silence is broken only by the cawing of the occasional crow. There is a spell for hearing what they say, but you do not have the equipment it requires. The birds appear to pause in the air and examine you as they pass. Make you uneasy, as if you are an intruder in their presence. We continue walking. The Shamutanti Hills are infested with the pestilence of the Bachlans. It saps the energy from your body, leaving you feeling nauseous and weak. Yeah, I'm not... Actually, I should probably cover my mouth then, because then I'm not breathing in as much of this, like, tainted air. You cover your mouth with your neck scarf, but it does no good. What? They warned you of this. You will grow accustomed to it the longer you are out here, but for the moment you must be very careful. Max stamina just decreased. Oh. I think it might have been at 20 earlier when I was still in town. So that's a big decrease if it went from 20 to 10. Fuck, I maybe should have just kept on walking, or perhaps it would have decreased regardless. Bad air, where is my air filter? Alright, and here I've opened up my book, my spell book. Yeah, there are a lot of spells. Here are the 6 most useful ones, though. Zap, Fafla, Dumb Hot Wall. I do have all of those noted down already. All these spells are extremely tiring and will cost you 3 points of stamina. More economical versions exist, though some rely on the caster owning particular items of power. And boom, yep, illustrations, little pictures representing what's happening here. Zap, electricity, lightning, boom, it's just a beam from your hand. Alright, we know these ones already, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip. Oh, big? We can use big to make myself big. That's pretty straightforward. It looks like walk in order to cast it costs 1 gold though. So if I want to make a shield, I have to pay for it. Dop is the lock. Res? Rubbing the wax on any bladed weapon and casting the spell, the blade will become razor sharp and do at least double its normal damage. I like the idea here that you just basically pull out some wax and rub it on your blade and you're like, yep, now it's extra sharp here. You gotta buy a walk and then use it as a shield. There you go. Imagine if that was the case for all of the spells. You think you're casting magic, but in actuality, you're just yelling out a word and pulling out an item and you think it makes a difference. Here I am casting Zap and you pull out a taser. I should probably note down spells that I think are more useful at least. This spell may be cast when the caster suspects a trap. See? So having something like, knowing that sus is a spell is good, because then I can use it to check for traps. The 6, it looks like it's a doubling. Multiple images of the caster. All capable of casting spells and attacking? Oh my god. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Oh my god. Comedy. There it is. Amazing. I'm just like everybody else over here. I am laughing. But then we stop because we have to continue. Jig. Requires a bamboo flute. Not going to worry about it then. I'm going to skip over spells right now that cost items because I'm not going to be able to easily cast it. But look at this. Here is how. Spell is used in perilous situations when info about the safest way of escape is desired. So how is sort of like a path indicator. Wow, is this a live studio audience? Yeah, and you're a member of it. Give yourself a round of applause. You're here. Part of them. Does. Reducing its movements and reactions. So Dawes is a slow. And we've got Dud. Caster can create an illusion of treasure. Mag. Protects its caster from most magic. It must be cast quickly and works by neutralizing the attacking spell. Ooh, definitely care about that then. So Mag is like a magic defense. Pop requires a paddle, so skip that. Fall. Caught in a pit or a trap from considerable height. When cast, it makes the caster's body light as a feather. Aha! So if I fall, it's like a feather fall, I would say then. And then we've also got Dim. Muddle Mind. I hate clapping when told. Do you like being told what to do, chat?
Yes!
That's what I thought. Now everybody smile. It actually is magic. Oh, magic defense. There you go. Fog. The spell may only be cast in a closed room with no windows. Even though torches and candles may still be burning. So fog is a temporary blind. Fog blind. Yeah, it does look very spooky. I guess it's to emphasize the fact you can't see anything. Wait, Nif requires nose plugs? The spell causes the air to fill with a nauseating stench so vile that any creature casting a whiff will need to vomit. So that's why you need nose plugs for this spell. It's just so stinky, you have to make sure you're not smelling it too. Your sap. Only useful in combat. Enemy is sad. You just sap them. They were all confident, thinking they could win the spell, but not any longer. You made them unconfident. A fart spell, that was that. Oh my god. Alright, these all require items. Ooh, except for Zed, sneaking in here at the end. This is the most formidable spell in lore, but no one knows why? In all recorded history, the spell has been cast only once by a powerful necromancer from Throban who was never seen again. Its effects are unknown. The necromancer's notes were found, but were crazed and unclear. Treat with extreme caution. I don't know what Zed is. Spooky. Also now the shape up here, whatever it was, is now Baboon. If I zoom out here then, we can see the map. Quite a bit of area to travel across. I think Care, that was our goal location, right? And right now I'm all the way down here. Do you think if I do a little walk, I can take a sort of a shortcut right here? You know, just chop right on through? Fuck everything else? Let's travel cross country. Right, I need to move my piece like that. Long way to Care, yeah, because it's all the way at the top. The path through Cantopani is long and winding, and will lose you a day. Instead, you turn off the path and strike north, through the knee-high grass. The journey starts with a stiff climb that takes several hours, but from the top you have a good view of the plain of yellow grass, and just to the north of that, a little village of rude huts that do not look like human dwellings. To your left, the gigantic wall looms, throwing shadows that lap at your feet. I'm not looking back. We proceed forward. We have two options. Time to strike on then. The wind whispers through the long grass, beckoning you onwards. But there might be rats and worse in those fields, so you might be safer cutting across to the river and following the bank. What if I could befriend the rats? Imagine making some rat friends. You wade forward through the shimmering grass, which gets longer and longer until first your boots and then your scabbard are lost from your view. Oh. I pictured, like, me losing my scabbard there. But it's just the grass is so tall I can't see it anymore. You never go into long grass? I learned that from a movie? Ha! Like that's gonna stop me. I go into it anyway. Still, with Cantopani disappearing over the brow of the hill, you are making excellent time. Suddenly, you freeze. Up ahead, the grass is parting in coils and bends. The parting is moving. There's something there, and it's coming towards you. I'm not a coward, baby. I stand my ground. Whatever it is, it will find you ready. You wait as the switchblading furrows moves closer and closer. I could cast a spell already, though that'll take some stamina. Like, what would happen if I cast a force field here? Woo! If it lets me, anyway. Do I see an F? A-O-U, some vowels over here. Don't care about vowels. Alright, so casting a shield is not an option. I could cast a fire and just set the entire blade, like, all of the planes on fire. I don't want to cast walk for a shield, because that's going to cost me cash money. Is W here? Because wall is a barrier. So I can do that. What happens then? You launch the enchantment, throwing up a colossal invisible barrier between you and the thing in the grass. Just in time. For a moment later, a colossal serpent rears up, its fangs open wide, going for your throat. But as it leaps, it strikes the wall and falls backwards. For a moment, stunned. From your side of the wall, there is little you can do but wait and watch to see what it will do. The wall will disappear eventually, but the snake will be weaker, but angrier than ever. Are we gonna fight the snake, or are we gonna flee from snake? Clearly, I have to gain that battle experience. Fight at the beginning. I wait for it so we can finish it. We're going to destroy this serpent here and now. Oh my god. Maybe I should have ran. You wait, watching with amusement as the snake rears into the wall again and again, making itself dizzier and tireder with each attempt. Then things become more serious as the wall begins to crack, and finally fizzles away into nothing. The serpent rears up out of the grass and bares its enormous fangs! And now we fight. That's one big snake. Look at how pathetic it is now, though. So, you are ready with sword in hand to take it on, and the serpent looks dazed, dizzy, and weak. So I'm just gonna go, you know what, I don't even need to go all in right away, because look at this. That's not a heckin' cute snake. No, it looks very angry, and look, it even splits into two tails. What the fuck? Bosslet, yeah, he's pathetic. Hello there, Hieronymus, and welcome to the stream. We cut the snake. Hoisha! Oh my god, he really has basically nothing with that 0.5. Jesus. The serpent's great coils are winding slowly around your feet. In a moment, they will tighten and snap. Oh my god, snap your ankles. You swing out wildly, hoping to chop it in two. As it curls back, knocking out carelessly with its tail. Its head tumbles backwards into the grass. It snaps and bites slowly at the air between you. Now it's basically out of stamina. I could do a really pathetic poke here. Still beating it, no problem. The serpent is retreating, but you give chase. You cut a side blow. It slips away from beneath your blade. The terrible creature is suffering. It can barely hold up its neck. It coils towards you, moving with silent grace. Again, I saw. Oh, fuck. It had a little bit more that time. That's not good. Then the serpent is sliding across the grass towards you with lethal speed despite its stunned state. You try a quick stab, but it moves like water and your blade seems to pass through it. It knocks you backwards into the grass. Your head spins. You scream as the creature draws blood. Alright, we're going to be more powerful this time then. A lot more powerful than I needed to be, but I did destroy it at least. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Yeah. We did destroy that snake, though. We are winning. Decent dueling, though, because you wait as the serpent shifts, carelessly exposing its belly. Then you attack, launching off your heels, you lunge for the beast's neck. With a great cloud of dust, the head of the serpent crashes to the ground, and the light in its eyes goes forever dark. And I will take that as a win. I may have taken a little bit of damage, but it wasn't too bad, so let's continue. The serpent lies dead before you. If I fucking spent the time to kill this snake, I'm going to search it. I'm not going to just abandon the body here. There is only one way to search the body. With your sword, you split it open, cutting through its long stomach. It's filthy work, but not unrewarding, for from the belly of the beast falls an arm bone with a skeletal hand attached, and in the grip of the hand is a small bag of coins. Ooh, yeah, I'll take the money. You lift the gold from the palm, then snatch your hand back quickly. You have been burned by the stomach acid that has soaked through the leather of the bag. Oh, god damn it. Well, I'm taking the coins anyway. You can't stop me. More carefully this time, you knock the coins free from the bag with the tip of your sword. Sparing a little of your water, you wash them clean, then slip the coins into your purse. And that is a long enough pause. You leave the serpent for the crows and make your way forward through the lengthening grass, wiping your sword as you go. So I've got 4 out of 10 stamina, so that's enough for one more spell. And I'm not sure what happens if you finish a fight and use too much stamina. Unsure. We'll continue. All I can do, though, is continue on through the long grass. I can't go a different way. So, through the long grass we go. You head onwards into the long grass, which gets taller and taller. The ground seems to slip away, but the plants are just as tall. Soon you can no longer see the nodding stems. Above the nodding stems, a few paces later, you cannot see the way ahead at all. I've already come this far. We're going to keep on going. No turning back. Which way, though? Well, I could cast a spell, there's like hell, but it doesn't seem particularly wise. I can just keep on going. I feel like I wish I could minimize and look at the map. Since I was just at the top up here, I could use the shadows as a compass, actually. That would make sense, because that would indicate where the sun is at. So let's use the shadows as a compass. But surely you can use the shadows of the grass blades as a compass. Looking through the grass to where it seems lightest, you head the other way, hoping to move northwards. The ground below rises and falls, as if you walked over low foothills, but there is nothing to see. You walk for an hour more, following the darkest area of the grass you can find, then suddenly you come across a flattened path through the grass stems. Someone else has walked this way. Now I could walk along the path that someone else has made, or I could go somewhere else. I feel perhaps if we follow along this path, then if there's someone around me that is looking for any movement in the grass, they won't be able to see it now because there is no grass to move because it's already been flattened down. So we'll go ahead and follow the path. You stick to the path, hoping it will lead out of this meadow. You have been in it for a long time. You walk for an hour more with rising spirits as you see the path becoming more and more well established. You are getting close to a village now. We keep going. Okay, I keep going. Path starts to show footprints. 6 or 7 men have gone this way before. 6 or 7. All marching to a similar stride, wearing boots of similar size. Uh-oh. It was me. I was walking around in circles. Well, that's not very good. I guess I'm going to follow the level ground this time. So I just continue on in this path, make slow but steady progress. Oh, and I do finally emerge onto the path. Here I am. Night has fallen, and it is too dark to make out much beyond the sparkle of the river, and the glittering of what looks like a bonfire up ahead. No, I think I'll go ahead and stay on my own little campfire spot. Since, alright, making camp is part of my training. And before I go to sleep, I check my pack, 2 rations. I've only got 2 stamina. I'm not sure if sleeping just restores a small portion of my stamina and eating will completely fill it. We'll go ahead and eat something. Oh, slight raise. Probably good because at only 2 stamina, I can't cast any magic. At least with 5, I am able to use a spell. So I eat a quantity of my cheese and bread, and then I try to go to sleep. But then I'm awakened by a splashing noise. We're not going to move. I'm going to continue to just stay still and listen to it. You know, because otherwise, if it's something that's trying to sneak up on me, if I sit up, they're going to know that I'm now awake, and we don't want to let them in on that knowledge. And hello there, Dunder, and welcome to the stream. That's right, cheese, but I've eaten it all, and I'm sharing none with you. No reason to panic yet. Patiently, you keep your breathing quiet and listen. Creatures, 2 or 3 of them, are splashing around in the stream. We're not sure what they're doing exactly, though. We'll go ahead and continue hiding away. Stay silent, and then they leave. And so I go back to sleep if they're going to move away. Ow! Oh. You sigh and attempt to go back to sleep, but then something heavy and hard hits you right in the face, and then everything goes black. Uh-oh. I got captured. That would make sense, seeing as I was over there starting up a fire when there was a bonfire nearby. Those guys that were hanging out in the river, that would make sense if they were like, well, we see smoke from the distance. Probably should go and check that out. Still halfway between sleeping and waking, you feel the presence of your spirit, the dolphin, close nearby. Its form has changed since you left Analant, and just as you have changed, but is still swimming beside you. In the temple, they taught you that a prayer to your spirit could heal disease, lift curses, and even save you from certain death. A prayer now would perhaps be wise, but the spirits are not generous, and decline to help often. You can ask for the spirit's aid using the pray button. I guess if I click it then, I can find out. Quick and carefree, the dolphin is happy to leap and skim his way through the world. He is brave, but not rash. And if I pray to the spirit will heal me, which maybe is a good idea if I have only got 4 out of 12 stamina. Ah! My spirit heard me and healed me. But I will not receive help for some time. You are on your own. That's fine. And hello there, Thoth, and welcome. You are tied up on the floor of a hut, and you are not alone. Nearby, you hear the scuffle of many feet. Let's look around and see what I can see. You flip open your eyes, taking care to lie still. You see your belongings lying a short distance away in the dirt. Around you patter tiny feet, and a few more feet hover a few inches in the air above the ground. Elvins, then. Let's wait. Oh, they don't look very friendly from this picture. Like, look at this little rat dog thing. It doesn't look very happy. It honestly looks like it's afraid of me. The guard, noticing that you are awake, leans out of the doorway and calls sharply. Soon a crowd has gathered. One leaps forward. "Traveler," he declares, "we are creatures of pleasure and enjoyment. It is such a great pleasure to have a visitor in our poor hamlet. So I ask now, how will you entertain us here?" "I shall entertain you by killing everybody." I pull out my blade and just start stabbing. Do you think my character is any good at singing? Because I could attempt a song. If I had a bamboo flute even, I could have played that, because I think one of the spells let me do that. I could also show them my magic. Do you think they're dumb? Because then potentially I could, just take control of them all. Bad singer? I'm gonna sing to them to prove you wrong. What? I will sing for you. What? You will certainly not. Your voice is like a dog's growl to our ears. What? They just insulted me. I can't believe they'd say such a thing. Fine, I'll show you my magic then. They do like that. However, if I want to cast spells properly, you need to untie my hands, thank you. Very good. But I cannot... Very good, but I cannot weave a spell with my hands tied. The elven considers this for a moment and quickly decides. One approaches with a knife and it holds it close to your face for a few seconds. Then he laughs, rolls you over roughly, and cuts the rope around your wrists. Now, declares the chief, entertain us. Then I battle them instead, taking them off guard. This would be a terrible idea, I feel like, though, because there's several of them, and one of me. Maybe don't start a fight right now. I'll cast a spell. However, I could instead opt for burning down their village. I cast Fireball and set everything ablaze. I wonder how that would go. Where's the H? Ugh, I don't think that's an option. I can do that, though. Is there a Z, perhaps? Because if there was a Z, I could cast the lightning. But that's not an option either. So what do we have? See, I could cast Dim and muddle their mind and perhaps sneak through them like that. If I cast Fog, since we're in a room right now, I might be able to sneak away. Are there any Fs present? No Fs. I guess I'm going to go ahead and opt to see if I can cast Dim then. That would be D-I-M. No, there is no M. I can Oh. Kid, apparently. That's not the order I thought I was going in. Oh, I see. When I'm moving around, it's saying... I didn't really notice that there were these circles up at the top. As I move around at the letters, it's saying what spot I'm filling in. So with the first letter, I can use a G, D, S, or a K. But I can still cast like this. Dud, Oh, Dud is the fake treasure. That'd be pretty good. You cast the spell, focusing your mind on a large rock in one corner of the hut. Before their eyes, the elven see this rock turn into a mound of glittering treasure. They gasp with delight, smiling happily and congratulating you. Then one of them ventures over to touch the jewels, and as he does so, you release the spell. A great cheer, and the chief very impressed. Thank you. But we have kept you from your road. The chief waves for his tribe's people to clear the route to the door, and the little creatures cheer. You gather up your belongings, and they set you out on the path of the village. Oh, there we go. Bye, Elvins. Look, they were totally friendly. Yeah, I kind of thought the trick was going to be that I make this treasure and they're all going to be like, oh my god, money! And they would all be pouncing over it, and then I would sneak out. But apparently, they did just want a performance, and that was literally it. So I've shown off some fancy treasure, and now I can be on my way. It would be better, too, if they had given me some snacks for the road, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Waving back to the elven as you walk, you reach the river once more, but now the path goes across it. Beyond, you can see a long, wide track with trees lining the left-hand edge and a wide field of long grass on the right. In the far distance, a curl of smoke indicates a village. The evening is beginning to draw in. It would be good to reach town before this light is gone. Test the bridge. It could be a cursed bridge. This is true. Does testing it imply magic? No. Before crossing, you make sure to test the guy ropes of the bridge to ensure it is sound. But it seems safe enough. Satisfied, you make your way across the boards. However, in the middle of the bridge, a man stops you. "Halt," he declares. "This is my bridge, and across. And to cross, you must pay the toll." Uh-oh. What for? For what? You look over the aged guy ropes, the warped boards. What is there to pay for? It doesn't look like you upkeep this bridge at all. Like, look at the fucking state it's in. Pathetic. Do you think these bridges build themselves? Do you think it's easy living out here, an outcast from the Cristatanti, trying to feed my children, when barely anyone takes these paths anyway? Now that you look, the man looks quite unwell. The toll is just 1 gold piece, he says. It's very reasonable. Alright, seeing as I got some money from that snake earlier, we'll go ahead and pay the toll. We won't cause any problems, and we'll just continue on our way. I throw the gold coin as hard as I can at his face. And with that, he strides away whistling. I think he just swindled me. I don't really care. I head down off the bridge and continue. Fuck him. I don't care. This is where I'm like, alright, and then you walk back and cut the ropes on the bridge and find another way. There you go. Just chop it down and be like, well, if you're gonna charge me, I'm gonna kill you for it. The path continues along the side of a line of trees. Suddenly, an acorn lands on your head and you hear a tittering from overhead. The dolphin grant you strength. More elven. In the trees, hurling acorns. Look at these motherfuckers. I'm just gonna keep on walking and totally disregard them. Fuck these elven. They think they're gonna get on my nerves? I maintain composure and continue walking. You are pelted by more and more acorns, as well as some sticks and branches. You break into a run. Soon you are out of reach of the annoying creatures. Yeah, fuck 'em. I approach Cristatanti. The sun is now just past its zenith, and everywhere, a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You begin to think about where you will stay for the night. Another night sleeping out in the open would best be avoided. But then you see a small village set into the hill. Let's look at it. Smoke rises from the stacks. The houses are well set, with stone at their bases and thatched roofs of grasses and thick leaves. There is, unusually, more than just one street running through the center of town. But it is as though this place, once rich, has had its heart scooped away. Litter surrounds the buildings, and on the edge of the village are rows and rows of empty, abandoned houses. Continue your slow trudge along the path. Do you think I could just claim one of these houses? I see them all, and I'm like, these houses are unoccupied. What if I just take one for myself? And then I move in, and I start a family. I raise some crops. I grow old, have children, and then I die, and thus ends the story. There is no more. I said, fuck the crown, live peacefully instead. Okay, so I can enter the village, or I could sneak around it. You know, I'm full of myself. I continue into the village. Nothing can stop me. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes, and I nod back respectfully. I'm not sure if looking at the people would be considered rude. So I don't know if I should just politely ignore them and keep walking, or if looking at them, I'm just like, doing some very cautious glancing or something. I'm just gonna ignore them and keep walking. These people are poor and live difficult lives. If your mission fails, they will not survive long, but they cannot survive long out here regardless. I could rest at an inn or talk in an alehouse. If I went over to the alehouse, I bet I could get some rumors or information. Oh, the people here don't look very friendly, though. Walking down the single road, you quickly find a hut with its front covering pulled wide open and the smell of brewed beer coming from inside. You go in. Several hill dwellers are here, talking gruffly. When you enter, they watch you with understandable caution. The owner comes over. "Welcome to Cristatanti," he declares. "What do you want?" I greet him. "An evening's rest and a drink to wet my throat," you reply. "Ale is 1 gold piece," he answers. "Please sit." Okay, clearly I want to sit with the oldest man because he's going to have the most knowledge, yeah? I sit with the old guy. Check the village for flammable peasants. Set a couple of them on fire to demonstrate my skills. You turn your attention to the oldest man at the table. Whatever face he once had is lost in a labyrinth of wrinkles, and his skin is the color of tanned hide from a lifetime in the beating sun. Instead of being polite and saying, "Yo, what's up, old guy?" I'm like, "What are you looking at?" Nah. We'll be polite because I want information from him. So I'm gonna say, "Hello." He raises his mug in salute. "Stranger." His face is gravelly, like the dusty dirt that lines the streets of his town. "Where are you from?" Okay, I'm going to maintain politeness as my character. Up front, friendly when they need to be, harsh when they need to be. I want to see if I can get information out of the old man, and I don't think I'm going to get it by acting rude, especially when I was the one that came over to interact with him. Imagine someone coming over and being like, "Hey, what's up?" And then they're like, "Yo, how's it hanging?" You're like, "Leave me alone now." "I come from Analand," he nods. Not many has crossed through the Cacophony gate, in either direction, if you know what I'm saying." "Well, Analand must be kept safe." "From the likes of us, too. They say there is war coming. Something to do with a crown." I'm going to act like I don't really know what he's talking about. That way I can maybe get some more information about it more easily. "Oh, a crown?" you ask cautiously. "The crown of kings," he says. "They say it's how a leader leads. Without the crown on your head, no one will follow you. The crown can raise an army from the farmyard or command a population to walk into the sea." He shakes his head. "Sounds like a bad idea if you ask me. But if someone's got to wear it, I'd rather they were in Analand than in Mampang." You sip your beer. The old man exchanges glances with the younger man sitting opposite. Let's ask the old man about the area. "Can you tell me something about this place?" "What, Cristatanti? Sure. We're always glad to help out strangers." "Oh, they're friendly." Why would I just straight up say he's crazy? I'm like, "Hey, can you tell me about the area?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" And then I'm like, "You're gonna just tell me? What are you, fucking mad?" Rude reply there. Yeah, I don't know why that would happen. Here I am all nice and friendly trying to gather the info, and then suddenly I swap and insult him. "Tell me what lies beyond." Beyond, there are 2 paths. One takes you past Aliana's home, and you will need your wits about you if she's there. The other leads up into the hills and Laia Key Domain of the Great Ones. And the other leads up into the hills and Laya Key, Domain of the Great Ones. Either way you choose, I wish you the luck of Sindla on your journey. So, either passing by someone named Aliana or up into the hills and the Domain of the Great Ones? Not sure what that is. Who is Sindla? What? Who is Sindla? God of hopeless causes, the man replies and laughs. The crowd in the inn is starting to thin out. You finish your beer in single draught and get to your feet. You make to leave the inn. The owner stops you, holding out his hand. We'll pay him the gold. I came in there to pay for that alcohol, though I'm not gonna shaft him. You look this way and that, trying to decide what to do next, when you realize the old man has joined you once more. He grabs your shoulder and presses a fruit in your hand. Bamba, he declares through fermented breath. I grow them myself. Good for the stomach. He pats your belly and walks away, swaying slightly. He pats your belly. I'm a little bit uncomfortable by this. I didn't think he was gonna touch me like that. I don't like being touched, thank you. I look at the fruit. You turn the old man's gift over in your hands. It is a thick, grinded fruit that keeps well and will be highly nourishing when you decide to eat it. Its only drawback is its incredible weight. Well, it's the only item I have right now, so I think that's fine that it's heavy. It's now evening and time to sleep, so let's go ahead and find an inn. I'm not gonna go sleep outside, that doesn't seem very safe. However, sleeping in an inn in the town does seem potentially harmful also, because then thieves would know I'm there. You stop a passerby and ask for an inn, and they lead you there directly. The woman who runs the place stands in the doorway with her arms folded. Are you from the king? She demands. I look around shiftily. No, I'm just a traveler, just passing on through. The woman narrows her eyes at you. This is a guest house. The best in Cristatante. Only guests stay. And any guest of mine knows it costs me 3 gold pieces to host a traveler overnight, and 2 to feed them. But it's all between friends. That's kind of expensive. That makes it fucking 5 gold pieces total. We'll just go ahead and take a room. The woman shows you the way upstairs to a room. There are 3 other guests already staying and asleep, so you settle quickly. The bed is not clean, but it is comfortable, and after the long day and all its narrow escapes, you are grateful beyond measure for the rest. I am very good on stamina right now, so I'm not going to eat any of my rations. I save what I have. Your last thoughts are of food. You have not eaten today, but you cannot march forever on an empty stomach, or you will achieve nothing but feeding the wolves. That's fine. I sleep. Your dreams are vivid. You feel yourself tied up, surrounded by snickering faces. Thin creatures with long fingers are picking at your pockets and stitching of your clothing. You feel magic boiling inside you, but it cannot be released. This is almost what just happened back at that elven village where they had captured me and thrown me away. Meanwhile, the food in your bag is rotting, wet through from the sweat of your back, and in the distance, a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of a crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Am I awake now? I guess so. Well, that was a kind of a shitty rest. At least I can think positively that I would only have 15 coins if I hadn't killed that serpent, I guess? You wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave the village. This is now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. Ooh, I'm feeling 3 days have passed, and already my legs are feeling powerful. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off. Kristatanti is surrounded by several miles of fields, sits in a well-protected ring of hills, close to the river to be reasonably prosperous. Okay, and then I get to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into deep woodland. So, zooming out, over here through the woods with Dumpus, with Dumpus, Dump us. Now, you might think this refers to it being like a dump, really trashy place. It actually refers to the fact that everybody here is real thick. Like that dumpy ass, as they say. It is us. We have the dumpy. It probably does make them the best shitters, too. You got a big ass? You shit better. So, I can either go up through Laiki, which is all destroyed and in ruins, or we can go through the forest. It looks like the forest path is a lot shorter. But there is the lady that we were told about that resides over here. And if we go this way, we do have to be rather clever to avoid her. Though, what if we became friends with her instead? That's a possibility, right? Let's go ahead and take the short... I've got time to make. Time is of the essence. I take the shorter path. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to locals. You must pass unseen, and so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while, the sun is feverish, and then you are between the trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is land that was never settled or explored, and very few have traveled this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over the path. So because we know there's that lady that lives out here, I probably should be moving cautiously through and not just, going, da-da-da-da-da, I am heading to Dumbus, whack, 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 gonna see some fat ass, whack, 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 whack. No. I move cautiously because my character, Sirius, goes cautiously forward. You pick your way carefully forward, moving slowly but silently between the trees. If there are any beasts nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without them hearing you approach. Then you come to a fork in the road, still deep in the forest. Alright, I approach the fork. Not picking paths yet. Someone has thought to make a sign, perhaps as a guide or perhaps as a warning. The way to your right is marked for Dumpus. A left turn points to Aliana, a name you remember from what the man in Kristatanti told you. Neither way seems the better trod. You'll have to choose. Yeah, let's not go to Aliana. We're just gonna head straight to Dumpus. The path continues on between the trees, growing narrower. You have chosen well. This route is untrod, so you are unlikely to meet an attacker. See? Make sure you listen to your elders, everybody. They've got important and helpful pieces of information and perhaps some snacks for the road. You walk for several hours, following the twists and turns of the path through the trees. Then suddenly, you stop. You have heard a noise up ahead. Uh-oh. Something is moving around between the rocks at the edge of the path. Let's not just keep on moving. We're gonna pause. And we're gonna look and see what that might be. You hang back, watching the trees. There is definitely something moving ahead. Something large and long, with a tail that whips between the trees. But now that you've seen it, you're at a definite advantage. With 9 out of 14 stamina, let's go ahead and cast a spell. Now let's see firstly if I'm able to cast... We could go with casting a barrier. There's also always potentially force field. Again, this is the first letter I'm able to use. So our options are D, L, Z, and J. Oh. I can use Zap. I could use Zip. What does Zip do? Unknown. I wonder if you're allowed to cast unknown spells like this. You know, just do Zip, make it so I can move very fast, right? That makes sense. Unknown? Chat. Are we gonna try doing this, or we're gonna see if casting random shit does anything? Zip, zap, do it? Zip. You try to bind the enchantment, but you're missing an item. Oh. So, Zip is indeed a spell. But I have no idea what that item is. You have no choice but to fight. The beast, a rat bear, rears up and uncurls its claws. You bring up your sword. You bring your sword up to bear. I'm going to assume, based on his appearance, he's probably going to just speed right at me. Afterwards, try Piz and see if you can make a pizza. Oh my god. But what would that be? Would I try Piz and get pizza? Or would I try Piz and then have the sudden need to begin urinating? Ah, see? As expected. He just went straight out to try and attack me. Dummy, I defended. The rat bear is startled by your approach, but drops quickly to all fours. You drop quickly behind a tree and raise your sword, ready to defend yourself. At the last moment, the rat bear leaps, all claws off the ground and ready to plunge into your body. You brace yourself as it comes down. For a moment, it is close enough for you to smell its sewer breath. It rears back, claws raised. I'm going to assume that all of the enemies we face, or at least when they have the comparable height like this, that they have a max of 9 also. So if he used 6.2, he only has about 3 left over. So if I use 3.5, he's going to defend though. That's fine. You risk an attack. Standing firm, you swing a mighty blow at the rat bear, but it has read your intention and drops into a crouch. It grunts as it pushes you back, stumbles back, tail whipped and high in defense. So I think he's probably defending again, so let's also defend yet again. Warily, you move into a defensive crouch, as does the rat bear. It edges back, claws raised. If it's raising its claws, that means it's going to prepare an attack. What if we prepare a powerful-ish one? We could go all out with 6. Maybe we'll do like 7. Leave a little bit of space and then we can defend afterwards. Nope. It's defending. You risk an attack. Rushing forward, you charge at the rat bear, but it knocks you aside with a paw. You scratch the creature's hide. Afraid of you, it rears back, tail whipped high in defense. We'll go ahead and defend also. So right now, the rat bear, after that initial attack, is being very defensive. It drops to all fours and lowers its head. It's totally going to try and attack here. We're going to defend ourselves. That way we can regain some of our strength. Oh. It attacks with 0.1. The rat bear stays low and tries to ram you. You silently thank your master, who trained you so well in swordplay. We're gonna defend again. Yep, he came out with a powerful attack. So that was it would have been better if we had attacked when he did that 0.1. But at least we defended during that 6, because otherwise we would have needed to do a larger strike. You edge around the rat bear, keeping your guard up, squeaking with rage. It charges forward, but you keep yourself guarded. You swing your arm and refresh your stance. So if it's stumbling back, claws raised, that means it's preparing an attack. Since that's what it did before, you circle right around the creature, keeping your sword high. The rat bear hisses but does not attack. That means if it does the same thing it did last time, firstly, when it's been attacking with about 6. The one time it did attack, it did a 0.1. So I think if we do a 7, if it does happen to attack, we will beat it either way. See? There we go. You risk an attack. Splashing through the mud, you race into the rat bear, catching it as it rears up. You plunge your sword deep into its thick skin. Light plays through the trees, and for a moment, the true extent of the rat bear's injuries is revealed. Clearly intimidated, it edges back, tail whipped high in defense. So we too defend. The rat bear sniffs around you. I think it did that before. I don't remember if that's when it did that small attack or if that's when it did its larger attack. I can attack with a 6.6 again. We'll do a 6.3. Oh, shit. I would have had to have gone all out to beat that one. Well, shit. Then you slip on the mud and leave yourself open. Oops, it attacks me. Definitely need to defend here so I can get back my own strength. Alright, it's defending again. We also defend. Okay, it's hissing, does not attack. No, that's just a defense. Okay, so if its claws raised, it's just defending. And I only have 1 health left. It has 2. If it attacks me here, it's going to win. Yep, and then I die. Alright, here we go. Round 2. Okay, so when it's raising its claws, it's just preparing an attack. When it's sniffing around me, it's going to attack. We're going to hit it with a 7. Because that's going to be bigger than it. High in defense. Defending. We defend also. It's standing up onto its hind legs. We do big attack. I don't think it's done more than a 6 point. No, it has done a 7 before. We're going to defend. Oh, that was smart because otherwise I would have attacked it with my strongest, which was only 6.6. Claws raised, it's defending. So we defend also. It is still defending. We defend too. Alright, it beats the air with its tail. And sniffing around me, that means it's preparing an attack. We're going to do huge attack on our side. Thus, 4 damage. It's almost gotten. The rat bear screeches in an inhuman howl and you take heart. It has almost fallen. We defend, that way we can restore some of our attack. It attempts an attack. We only have 6. I'm going to defend here. And I think a 7, because it's done something here. Even if it's defending at this point, we're going to be able to kill him. And there we go. 4 stamina lost. Competent combat. You risk an attack, screaming, you rush at the rat bear, then your sword slips between his ribs, and we kill him. With the beast dead on the path, you are free to move onwards. Hang on, can I loot this guy? What? Oh, no decision is permanent. Click the rewind button at any time if you want to scroll back and try a different path. Oh, that's nifty. So if I'm like, you know what? Actually, I want to redo that fight. I could do so. But we're going to go ahead and continue and accept the decisions we have made. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, and then emerges onto a sudden plain, as if the forest had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and by its banks stands a tiny village. Come on. I am not going to avoid the dumpest town. We enter in. Ooh, wow, there's a couple of choices for what we can do. Today has been punishing, but with a decent meal and night's sleep, your next day will start auspiciously. So you begin the gentle climb down into the village. Follow the path, passing a sign which declares to be Dumpus. Streets are thin, buildings set close together, as if trying to withstand a storm. Smells terrible, and is overall an unpleasant place. But we do need to come in here anyway. We can start by exploring, talking to the villagers, or go straight to resting. Come on. If I'm going to spend the time going into town, I might as well spend the time exploring and talking to the people here. And hello there, Clavicle, and welcome to the stream. Yes, Sorcery stream. And hello there too, Sangeli. And I assume it's you, Liz, by the name? I might be wrong, and I apologize if I am, but welcome. Take a Dumpus. Oh. Okay, so it is you, Liz. Alright, excellent. Should I start by exploring? I feel like maybe we should look around the town. Or, if we talk to people first, then we might get some information about particular areas that we should check out about the town. That makes more sense. You pass along the main path through the village and pause outside a hut in which several of the hill dwellers are sitting and eating. They are discussing something. Lifting back the canvas flap, you step inside. The hill dwellers stop talking immediately and look up at you. One gets to his feet and gestures you forward. Okay, I step over. You step forward. Then one of the others calls something in their native tongue and points at your side, to where your sword hangs out below the hem of your cloak. In broken common tongue, the first croaks, "No weapons," and he indicates a table by the door where you can leave the blade. Okay, before I take off or enter with my sword, I'm gonna look over at the table, kind of gauge if anybody else has left behind their weapon too. There are plenty of other weapons there, so the men appear honest enough. Well, alright. If I put down my sword, I still have the ability to use and cast my own magic. So very well, I take off my sword. And I place it down onto the table. The hill dwellers nod to show their appreciation and then beckon you to sit with them. Oh! They're saying I can come sit with them. So rather than me coming over and being like, "Hey guys, is there a seat that I can sit down?" They just are straight up like, "Hey, thanks for putting down your weapon. Come on, join us over here." I sit down with them and they continue their conversation just as animatedly as before, speaking in a local tongue that you cannot follow. But as they talk, they pour you a drink and provide you with food. Oh, they're quite welcoming. I'm going to go ahead and ask what they're talking about. Since I can't understand them at all, if I just try and sit and listen, that's not going to give me any new information. So we're going to ask them what they're discussing. Yeah, we're at the cool kids table. Oh. Really integrating ourselves with the cool hill people. After you finish eating, you catch the eye of one of the older men and ask slowly in the common tongue, "What is it you men are discussing so heatedly?" The man nods back at you. "Christatanti," he says, "arming. The goblins." Oh, I've actually just been from Christatanti. The men nod, but do not seem surprised. Slowly you piece together the story. The group seem quite sure that a horde of goblins are planning an attack on Christatanti, which is apparently one of the wealthier spots in the hills. They're discussing whether or not it would be worth helping the village to defend itself, which might mean they are offered some kind of reward. You must help them, let them fend for themselves, wait a while, and decide later. If they went straight up to help, well, let's actually turn. Rather than thinking of this strictly from maybe what's the most strategic option, what would my character offer as an advice? My character is So far, she's been rather reserved, smart with her decisions, tough when she needs to be, and just sort of willing to go with the flow. Like back over at the bridge, she was not really wanting to put up any fight against the guy who was totally lying about that toll. But she went with it anyway because she didn't really want to spend the time hanging out at the bridge. So she would be logical here, and rather than being like, you gotta help them out, she'd be like, you don't have to go straight for letting them handle things on their own, because yeah, you might get some rewards seeing as they are a wealthier place. So maybe you could wait a bit and see if helping out later on would. Wait a while and decide later. They frown at you. What good does waiting do? Better to understand your enemy than rush in, see? So this would give you a chance to see, is the goblin enemy overwhelming? Would we actually be able to help out at all with the number there are? Better to understand your enemy than rush in, you answer. Once you understand how the goblins are fighting, you will be better placed to defeat them. Ah, the men nod, swayed by your ruthless logic. That's right. Rather than go with my heart of saying, you just gotta start right away to help them out. I go, no. You have to be serious and gauge their abilities before you just strike ahead. And you? How do you fight? One man asks. Well, there is the King of Anland, but I'm totally out here to care for myself the best. So, I don't necessarily care about helping those that need it, and I don't necessarily care about the king. It's me. I just care about myself. The men nod. So, you do not understand what we might lose. So now that I've offered that advice, and they've asked me about my fighting tactics, since I've answered, I serve myself, they're like, yeah, you don't get it. The evening draws to a close, probably on the side of like, they all have families and whatnot, so that's what they're thinking about. So when I'm saying, I just care about me, they're like, And hello there to you too, Kitty, and welcome. Alright, the men thank me, and they leave. So I too leave. And I don't think I need to head out of town. So far, the people here seem very friendly, so I don't think there's a reason that I would need to leave. Let's go ahead and explore now. Halfway along the track, you come across a couple of merchants' huts. You browse for items worth buying with your 18 gold pieces. Your attention is taken by a finely woven skullcap, a finely crafted sword, and a small bag of provisions. I'm gonna check out this hat, because seeing as I've already got a sword, but my head is very bald. You pick up the skullcap and turn it over. Stolen from a priest of Dadulay, the merchant declares with pride. A fine piece of work. 4 gold pieces. It looks like an object of magic properties. What they might be is unclear. Okay. Slightly concerned. What if I try it on, the item turns out cursed? And is stuck in my head, and then is like, ah ha ha, I fooled you. It now costs 8 gold pieces, and now you don't have a choice. It's probably fine, though. We're gonna go ahead and try it on. Oh, you place on your head, but you feel nothing. You take it off again. I'm not sure if this is to imply it doesn't actually have any sort of magical properties, or if it's to mislead you and think that it does nothing, when in actuality it does. However, I'm pretty sure when he's saying Dadulay, he's referring to that ruin area over there to the right, and if that's true, he is not saying it properly. Is it one of the items for a spell? I wasn't really looking at what any of the spells require, but I guess it's also a possibility that I could enchant it if I had some spell that does enchantments. But I don't think there's any spell, I assume, that requires a hat. Maybe it does. I'm just thinking between would it be better to buy sword or hat. And you know what? I like hats. I'd buy it. Ooh, I could ask about work? Sure, because then that would mean some more cash money, and I'm not arguing against getting more cash money. Is there any work to be had here? The merchant sizes you up. One of my friends needs some digging doing. I'm sure he would pay you and feed you for it. Oh, but digging what? The merchant shifts uncomfortably. Does it matter? You'll find out. He stares at you. So? He asks. He looks over his shoulder at the path. I'm going that way now myself. You coming? Alright, I follow the merchant. Hang on, though. I actually want to look at my items now. Magical items? Let's put the cloth skull cap in there, seeing as he did tell me it was magic. So I guess my character is assuming it is. Ooh, when I go into rations, I can specifically eat the meal or specifically the Bamba fruit. Okay, if I do a quick look through at the... Oh! Your zip right here requires a green ring. This spell enables the caster to teleport a short distance. So it's kind of what I was thinking when I was like, hey, do you think this makes me fast? Teleportation is kind of like moving somewhere very quickly. It is, well, just straight up, it is moving somewhere very quickly. Just not via manual physical movement. This game seems real neat. Yeah, it's like a RPG choose your own adventure story. It's a cloth skull cap of warm head. There you go. And hello there, Warrelson, and welcome to the stream. So we've got a wig and a wig. I like there's two green-haired wigs here with rap and yap. Understand the language of and communicate with creatures speaking non-human tongue. And also animals. So apparently wearing a green wig lets you talk to creatures? Interesting. So we've got... Oh, here's Kid. Hang on. While wearing a bracelet of bone, the caster of the spell can concentrate on a particular illusion, and this illusion will become real to others. However, affected creatures must be intelligent, and the caster must not act counter to the illusion. I guess that's why it's called Kid, is because you make a fake person, essentially. So, jewel medallion, pearl ring. So, what we're going to look through here real fast as I speed through is a hat of some kind. Here's a face mask. Not quite a hat, though. Wait. Here it is, fucking right here. Requires a skull cap. Look at that. It is a spell ingredient. To activate this spell, the caster must wear a cloth skull cap. The user may then read the mind of any intelligent creature nearby, learning its weaknesses, the contents of nearby rooms, and other such details. Hell yeah! I'm gonna note this down. Do you think it uses the items on some of these? Like, I could see on something like sand, you lose the item when you cast the spell. But when it's more of an armor item, like Tell here, with a hat, would the hat just disappear after use? Or does it just mean I need the hat? Does it not use stamina? There's no cost shown. Maybe for the spells that require items, it doesn't cost any stamina to cast it. So instead of casting stamina, you use the item instead? I don't know. You can try and rewind it if it's bullshit, that's true. But come on, commit to your choices even if they're bad. I follow the merchant. Like, you could kill me right now and whoops, I guess that would be it. He leads you to a house on the edge of the village and introduces you to the householder, a stout man who is probably incapable of lifting a spade, let alone digging with it. Well, what is it that you need doing? Cesspit, the man replies, out back. Needs digging. Alright, I'm not gonna go straight to digging. I wanna know how much I'm getting paid for this first. How much? Well, the man replies, it's pretty urgent. The old one's overflowing. How much money, you demand? 3 gold pieces. He replies, as if I'm gonna dig this for free. 3 gold pieces, alright, I'll get started. Spade's out back, he replies with a jerk of his thumb. You walk through the man's house into the back garden. The smell is terrible. The job is not to just dig a new cesspit, but to dig over the old one. It's going to be several hours. That'll probably take the whole night. I grab the spade, stuck in the ground by the hole. I don't know that I know any sort of magic that would help at all. The most is if maybe I cast Feather Fall. You know, just in case I accidentally fall into that cesspit. Do we have a spell called Dig? I don't know. D. Nope. We do not have it, or at the very least, I can't cast any spell called Dig. Explode hole? Perfect. I cast Zap. There you go. Cast Stink. Make bigger smell. Can't have stinky cesspit smell if you can't smell it at all. Hole. I can't use H as the first letter. This is the first letter box, so the only letters that I can pick are P, D, B, Z. And all of the spells I have noted down already are ones that don't require any items. The rest of the spells, okay, that's probably something to be kept in mind in general, is I'm going to bet that the only spells that exist in the game are the ones that are in my spell book. Like when I tried to cast Zip earlier, that was an actual spell. And it was in the spell book, but I couldn't cast it because I didn't have the item. So, if it is a spell that I don't have noted down, that means it's going to cost an item and we should not cast it. Ooh, hang on, I have a spell that makes big. What if I made my shovel larger? Or I made myself larger so it's easier to dig that hole. I cast big. You cast the spell and wait for it to take effect. Then you feel the spade turn from a heavy tool to a mere toothpick in your hand, as you swell to 3 times your usual size. You have the digging work done in barely any time. Look at that. Less work if you're a giant. Ah ha ha! Easy. I collect my pay. You go back into the house and collect your money. 3 gold pieces. The grateful householder also provides you with some food, as well as a space on the floor to rest for the remainder of the night. You settle down happily and are quickly asleep. Look at that. We got cash money paid. We completed that without spending much time or stamina to do so, since we used up a singular stamina to make myself big. So, excellent. And hello there, GB, and welcome to the stream. I would cast big at any opportunity I could. Hell yeah, I mean, why do things at normal size when you could do things at 3 times your size? And now we rob him. Perfect. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Tall trees rise like hooked fingers on either side of you, ready to close into a fist as you creep forward. The hills stretch out into the distance, a frozen sea, treacherously deep. Great forces lie underground, ready to open a hole into the earth. You will never see it in the dark. Overhead, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. The birdmen came for the crown. Perhaps, before this journey is finished, they will come for you. Spooky. Well, now that it's morning, it's time to leave Dumpus. These dreams are real nuts. Yeah, I don't know if I like these dreams very much. Can I exchange my dreams for some good ones? You know, I fall asleep and I'm dreaming I'm in a world made of candy where I don't get a stomachache. That sounds like it'd be a lot nicer. All right, you rise early, dismiss the attentions of the householder, and head out into the street. Within a few minutes of walking, you are out of Dumpus and back on the road. After another hour or so, the way branches, with one path heading up into the hills and the other turning downhill and along one side of a barren, stony ridge. Is that a village you can make out on top of the hill? It seems a lonely place for it. And honestly, because the louder sounds are so infrequent, I think I'm going to maybe turn up the volume on the game a little bit. Hear the ambiance a little bit better. Yeah, see? Now I can hear that wind blowing. And now when sound effects and music occurs, it'll just, like, destroy everybody's ears, and we'll all cry out, covering our ears with our hands and say, "Hoo boy, I'm bleeding now," and then we all die. Now what would be better? I could go up through the town here, or go around past the mines. It kind of seems like going up this way is maybe not great because I don't know. Do I have to walk around the mountains over here? This doesn't really seem like a path like that's going to yield me a great outcome. Let's go ahead and go around and go downhill. You follow a meandering path around the side of the hill for most of the morning. It's difficult to see the way ahead through the tree line, but you trust to the course, and eventually the path bursts out onto a narrow stone ledge, high above the valley floor. The ledge leads left and right. There is no way forwards. I've got 9 out of 16 stamina, 2 rations, 17 gold. I could rest a moment and eat. I can also look the 2 directions. Maybe I'll go ahead and take a break then. We'll rest a moment, eat some snacks, get 13 out of 16 stamina. So, perching on the edge of the stone outcrop, you eat the old man's nourishing bamba fruit and feel a little better for it. Oh, I think back to old man. Thanks, old man, for the fruit snack. It was really tasty. Okay, I look to the left. Looking left, you can see that the narrow ledge is formed by a splitting of the rock that leads all the way down to the misty valley floor. There is a path up the other side. It is not clear from here. I look to the right. Looking right, you are taken aback, as out of the mist that fills the valley, an impossibly wide bridge looms into view, as if it had only now fallen into place. It is made of planks and thick ropes, and is suspended from this peak to the peak on the other side. Could have built such a marvel, and how long ago? Okay, I zoom in with my eyes. What exactly is going on with this here bridge? You take a moment more, staring at the bridge. It forms a delicate curve across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. But the more you look, the more it seems too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist, or is it mere illusion to trick the incautious traveler? Then it is time to move on. Getting to your feet once more, you take a moment to find your balance before moving on. One slip and you will fall a long way down. The way it's describing this bridge is making me extremely wary of it. We've had a pretty easy time so far. I'm gonna go down into the valley. I feel like that's a safer route when I'm fucking so suspicious of that bridge with how good it looks. Like, I don't know about that. Even if that bridge was originally made super nice, if it was made a long time ago, you'd think there'd be some kind of wear. The bridge seems untrustworthy. Should anything happen while you were halfway across it, there would be no escape but the last, most final kind. Better to walk. Yeah, exactly. Too good to be true. You make your way along the stone ledge. The angle is steep, and it's hard going not to stumble. At the valley floor is a dried-up river, covered in worn stones honed by water that is now long gone. Small caves open the rock face nearby, with rusted machinery abandoned outside. There was mining here, once, but it must have been long ago. A wider track leads up the far slope. We're going to start by looking around before we go and do anything. I look around. I look at the machinery. Alright, they're pretty rusty. Huge spiked wheels. Thick with bindweed, slugs, and mud. So, whatever these machines are for, they have not worked in decades. Maybe even centuries. Oh my god, this place is old. How about the riverbed? Nothing but stones. Hang on. I have a spell that uses stones. I'm going to take some of them. This is just, yeah. Settings. Dolphin just looks at my guide. I would like to look at my spells because I do have a spell that uses stones. I'm going to take some of them. You choose 3 nice round pebbles and stash them in your backpack. Heavy to carry, but useful. I'm kind of tempted by the mines because there could be treasure in there, and I do like treasure. But just leaving would probably be safer and take me back to the path. But we haven't done very much exploring now, have we? Let's check out the mines. As you approach the mine entrance, a wet wind greets you from the depths. The mine shaft must lead somewhere, but it is pitch dark. There are no torches and you do not have any light of your own. Let me open up the spellbook real fast. Here we go. See? Pop. Let me note this down. So, a potent little spell, but one which calls for great mental concentration. Cast it on small pebbles, and which then explode. Ooh. Explode. Also, now you can hear the music is significantly louder. Gonna go ahead and close the book there. Alright, so now we can cast Pebble, since we've got 3 rocks. Ugh, I wish I had some sort of light on me, because, oh my god, exploring the mine is super tempting. Stone grenades, that's pretty much what it is, huh? Just throw a little pebble and boom! Should we risk what's inside the mine? Yeah, the music is really picking up. Saying it's because it's louder now, because I increased the volume so we could hear the sound effects better. But it makes it so when the music actually plays, it is much louder. Man, fuck. I'm not sure what I want to do here. What? Hang on. Risk for rewards, that's true. What would my character do? She would consider the journey she's taken so far. I'd say she's about halfway to care. She's taken pretty cautious routes so far, and she's like, you know, I haven't really found much treasure, and I do like treasure, and because I haven't found very much, she's starting to get a little greedy. because she's had pretty positive experiences so far, she's maybe getting a little cocky too. So she's gonna go ahead and head inside. You stride further inside until the wet rock is above you, and the air falls suddenly cold and still. Your breath echoes. Tight, dark places are often fearsome, and through the rock walls here are carved with axes. And though the rock walls here were carved with axes, there is still something wild and harrowing about this place. You feel a crunch on the gravel floor. I could cast a spell and cast Fireball. That would make a little bit of light, yeah? I could also say use something like Magic Defense. Or cast a Force Field. Potentially. It always depends on what it allows me to do when I open up my spells here. So, the options I have are H, G, J, S. Oh, if I used S, I could cast my trap detection spell. So I can check if there's any danger here. So I think this would be good to use. So even though I can't really see anything, I can sense there isn't any trap danger. You cast the spell, and within moments, a dread feeling has come over you. This cave is a place of great and terrible danger, and you feel quite certain that to go a step further would be certain death. Very well. I leave. Too dangerous for her. Rather, to play it safe. Your breath is short and your heart is hammering as you pause, halfway up the valley slope. A small wooden hut is opposite, set a little way back from the path. I look at the hut. I did just avoid going into the mine. This almost makes me want to go back and travel through the mine anyway. You stop to watch the hut, dropping behind a bush out of sight as you do so. After a few minutes, you see a troll emerge, ducking to get through the tiny frame of the building. He is clearly guarding something around here, perhaps a mine, or perhaps he was stationed here long ago to guard a city that has now crumbled to ruin. But Death? It's true, I could have met Death down there too, right? Taken to the verge on my final breath, meeting him, or her. And hello there, Professor, and welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and keep observing the troll for now. The creature stands outside the hut for a few minutes, looking this way and that, his colossal head turning with the speed and dexterity of a mill wheel. Then he stomps away around the curve of the hill. You probably have a few minutes before he reappears. Well, alright, wait. Seeing as I skipped out on the mines, we're gonna go inside Troll Hut instead. You seize the opportunity and race over to the hut and see what you can pilfer. Inside, you find it is a barren shack. Low oak table, no windows, no door, pile of blankets. I'm not going to waste any time looking at the blankets. We're just going to straight search them. You lift the corner of the blanket with the tip of your sword, and hidden away you find 3 gold pieces. The trolls pay for the entire year? Oh, this troll gets paid for shit. However, where if I was a good person, I would be like, you know, I'll leave this for the troll. My character, again, is getting greedy. She looks out for number 1. She doesn't really care that much about that troll. She's gonna take their money. You take it? And you should probably go now. Yep, let's leave. Uh-oh, you've been here long enough. Quickly you turn and hurry away, just in time to see the troll returning from its patrol. Hasn't seen you, and it is too stupid to notice anything you might have moved or left out of place. It moves to enter its hut. We're just gonna sneak away. So, we escape. Goodbye. just going in there, robbing the troll, and leaving. Another hour passes as you finish the climb. With the sun starting to hang heavy in the sky, you reach the top and meet with the other end of the rope bridge. Let's look back at the bridge real quick. It may look stable, but is undoubtedly a death trap set to part travelers from their gold, from their lives. You continue on down the strope as evening draws in. What if the troll was able to use magic and cast that magic bridge? That way he could supplement his 3 gold piece yearly income. Sucks to be the troll, but not my problem. Some way down the hill, you stop for a rest and sit on a boulder to survey what lies ahead. The path leads downward, and at its foot, cradled between 3 peaks, is a village, and quite a large one at that. Behind you, the sun is falling rapidly into the hills. It will be night soon. Did this village look like it was a good idea? Burritante. So far, all of the other villages we have been in don't. Well, I say all of the other villages. I guess we've only been in 2 since we skipped right on past Cantopani. We went into Cristante and Dumpus. So why not? Let's go into this town too. We approach the village. Your heart swells. A village might mean a chance to restock on provisions. You hop down from the boulder and make your way forward when an overhanging branch touches your face and you hear a lively chirping? What? I freeze. What is that? Is that what? Hovering by your shoulders, a small creature the size of a bird. But it doesn't say it is a bird, so what the fuck is here? It is childlike but very thin with green skin, and it flits around you on transparent wings. It seems friendly enough. It even lands on your shoulder, its tiny clawed toes pinching slightly. Hello, tiny creature. How's it going? Greetings, little creature. And hello to you, the creature replies, chirping. My name is Jan. Jan has a little teeny tiny tail, I see. What the fuck are you? The creature does a backflip and gives a low bow. I'm a Minimite. Pleased to meet you. It reaches out a tiny hand and shakes your earlobe. Oh, keep holding on there, Minimite. You're now an earring for me. Oh, high fashion right here. Okay, well, what can you tell me about the village? You know, before I go in and I find out more about it that way. Is it safe? Oh, that's Biritanti, and it's very safe. It's the largest village in the whole of the Shamutanti Hills. Every traveler who comes this way spends at least 1 night there, so it's a little bit expensive, especially for Minimites, but pleasant enough. The creature starts hopping up and down. Come on, it grumbles impatiently. Let's get going, can't we? What? Why are you here? What? Imagine just walking along and this tiny person just suddenly pops up on your shoulder and is like, yo, bro, what's up? I'm ready to head into town. What do you say? By the way, you're going a little bit slow. Pick up the pace, will you? I've got time to keep over here. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? You just came onto my shoulder and you think you can tell me what to do? Excuse me, what do you want? Really forcing their way into the party. That's right. You're walking along here just yourself. You've got your own little character icon, casually strolling. When all of a sudden it's like, Minimite has joined the party. And then you get an additional character portrait slide in and it's like, hey, how's it going? I'm ready to continue the journey. And you're like, what, dude, what the fuck? See that village? The creature replies. Last time I tried to go through, they told me I wasn't welcome. So, I wouldn't mind some protection. Well, my character over here isn't going to just help them out without getting something in return. So, I'm not going anywhere until you've gone. Maybe not go straight up into there because my character doesn't necessarily care that they're joining me if I get something out of it. So, I don't know then on the other end where I'm like, well, let's get going. But I wouldn't offer protection either. I feel like at the most I would just maybe begrudgingly say, well, this could potentially bonus me something. Well, let's get going then, I guess. The creature shakes you by the ear in excitement, and you set off along the path once more. You descend into the bowl of the valley. The hills on either side are toweringly tall and throw the village into deep shadow. It would seem a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come the distant sound of laughter and merriment. Look, that means I can make the sound of laughter. You can hear it in the distance. Also, I can also consider the fact that now with this tiny person, if I need a distraction, I just grab her and throw her and book it away. We enter the town. You continue along the path. The sounds of festivities grow louder. It's almost spooky here in the shade of the valley. And after so long on the dire road, the people in this village seem to be enjoying themselves. See? The mini mite on your shoulder remarks, I told you it was a happy place. I don't know, they seem like they're celebrating for a specific reason. Jan, what's going on exactly? He shakes his head. No, if there was magic, or are they bewitched, I ask. No, if there was magic, believe me, I'd know. This is the festival of the young. What? Well, take a look. Jen waves a little hand around the village. The idea is that once a year, the children are allowed the freedom of the village. It is a time of great fun and lots of pranks. It becomes quickly obvious what he means. You pass the first few buildings, where you find a number of children sitting in the street and drinking ale from deep mugs. Further on, a young boy is holding an old woman over his knee and is spanking her. On the other side of the street, a group of boys is fighting outside a hut with a sign that reads, Glandragor's Tavern. It is all complete mayhem. The day where fucking children are in charge. My character looks around and is like, holy shit, Jan, I wish you told me this before I came to town. I see the woman being spanked. This isn't my problem. I don't care about helping out that old woman. I don't know what I'm going to get in return. This is their festival. I leave the old lady. You consider helping the woman, but there's nothing you can do. It is their festival after all. I don't know that I want to go into the tavern when there's a bunch of kids hanging out there, so I'm just going to go further into the town. You pass beyond the tavern and turn a corner to find a group of girls standing by a signpost pointing to the crystal waterfall. They are tripping up their elders as they pass and giggling. Well, I guess I'll ask them what the waterfall is. You stop by the group and ask them about the waterfall, but they are too distracted by Jan, whom they delight in poking, tickling, and gently cooing over. The children can't get enough of him. After a few minutes of asking them about the waterfall, you give up and walk away. One of the girls calls, "Come back!" Another shouts, "The water is good for you!" Jan sighs, already missing the attention, but comes back to rest on your shoulder. Excuse me. Imagine trying to ask them what the fuck the waterfall is. No one answers. And then when I finally start leaving, they're like, wait a second, we thought you were interested in the waterfall. And I'm just like, dudes, you didn't even fucking tell me about when I asked. And goodbye, kitty. Thanks for coming on by to watch for a bit. Hope you have a good day. So I move on, leaving the girls to their snickering. And see, there is the waterfall, which I could go visit, which all of the children refuse to answer me about, we're gonna head on over to the tavern. Sorry, the inn. You find the village inn, buried under a rocky overhang. The proprietor stands in the doorway, a formidable young girl armed with a baker's paddle. "What do you want?" she squeaks at you. I wouldn't mind a room and a board, but it'd probably be more expensive here. But I guess we can find out. Whoa, okay. 9 gold pieces. How much for a meal? 4 gold. Highway robbery. Yeah, I'd rather go to a shop to buy some rations, but I can't do so. I do have 20 gold. We'll go ahead and pay for it, and then we'll sleep outside. Still, the rest will be welcome. You hand over 4 gold pieces and take a seat in the front room of the inn. The smells pervading from the kitchen are appealing, but the sounds are not. It seems like the cook is dropping as much food as they're cooking. You realize you are paying to be cooked for by a child. What have I done? I should have considered this and been like, I'll take the room because I don't want a meal cooked by this little girl. And thank you for following. Throckbert, appreciated. Very nice. And so I leave. I thank the girl for the meal, leave, and now we're gonna camp outside. A nice sleep under the stars. Plus, now I've got Jan to keep an eye out for me. You make your way out of the village and into a stand of tall, dry trees under the overhang of one of the cruel mountain sides. Between curling roots, you find a small place to settle down to rest. Jan perches a little way above on a knot and is quickly asleep. You are tired enough to follow suit. We're not going to eat because we just paid for a meal. Oh. Perhaps a few hours pass when you wake suddenly aware of a sound moving between the tree trunks. A wolfhound! I bet I could throw one of those pebbles and explode it, and that would scare him away. We're going to just try and hide. You stay low, but the hound must have picked up your scent. It paces toward where you lie, but although it does not know where you are, it may not know what you are. And if you spring out and attack, the surprise of it might give you an advantage. I can also cast a spell that would potentially help me out. Let's see what I'm able to cast. So, we've got JLB, and that's it. JLB. So I can't use something like sap. That's not an option. Ooh. Like was said earlier, hello, grow big whenever possible. I make myself huge. Oh. Or nothing happens when I try to make myself big. This is stupid. Why can't I be big when fight? Then I could just grab the wolfhound and throw him. I feel robbed. We're gonna go ahead and defend. He attacks. Wolfhound creeps towards you, jaws dripping and fur shining wet. You raise your sword to defend yourself. Fear the monster will spring. It bounces forward, it howls and whimpers. Is it going to try and defend? Let's go ahead. It did something like 5. We'll do 4. It is defending, so we only got 1 point off. It also is already only at 3 out of 6 stamina. Bring sword for a manic blow. The wolfhound drops back. I think it's defending then. So we defend also. The wolfhound circles you, snapping at the air. You wait, eyes fixed. It scrapes at the ground as if digging its own grave. That sounds like... Nope, it was defending. We did big attack on it anyway. You put all your strength into a sweep of your blade, hoping to finish the creature in a stroke, but it turns tail. And as it's growing weaker, it's getting madder. We're gonna defend here so we can get some of our energy back. Wolf holds back, pawing at the earth. You hunch low, your sword ready. We're gonna defend again. Big attack, 1 stamina since we were defending. If we hit it twice more, we'll be able to take it out. You stay low and alert. The wolfhound goes for your neck. At the last moment, you scramble aside. It did big attack, so I think just something small like 4 would be alright. I hit it. The wolfhound runs quickly into the trees, but has not gone for good. Creeps back into view. I think wolfhound is crawling now, fur thick with dried blood. I think it's regained all of its power energy. We're gonna go ahead and do big stab, which did indeed have a successful strike. Boom, I've won. You put all your power into a sweep of your blade. The blade connects at the wolf as the wolfhound weakly opens its jaws to bite. You plunge your blade between its teeth and all the way down to its heart. The wolfhound howls a gurgling, blood-soaked sound, and then it dies. Something interesting to note, though, is it sounds like then that this wolf was already wounded when we were fighting it. So what exactly already had it injured? The rest of the night passes silently. And I guess then the path that I'm going is I'm going to be forced to go up and around since I didn't go through the town. Otherwise, the crystal waterfall probably would have been an option. You rise early from your spot beneath the tree. As you gather your things, Jan leaps up and onto your shoulder. "You ready to go?" he chirps. You rejoin the path on the far side of Buratante. The sun sits on the horizon like a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you will reach Torapani today, the last village in the Shamutanti Hills. After a short climb, the path breaks. So, left and to the right. Seeing as we have Jan here, we might as well ask what his opinion is. Which way, Jan? Which way, Jan? To the right is a forest. To the left, the going is easier. The path heads through a field of black flowers to Torapani. Black flowers? What else do you know? Nothing, protests the creature. And that's a fine way to talk to your guide. I'm not charging you for my advice, you know. You'll get no more from the creature. With Torapani so close, it hardly matters which way you go, surely. Black flowers are very suspicious, but a little forest that has a hut outside of it isn't exactly very friendly seeming either. Yeah, the flowers are pretty suspicious. Not quite sure about it. We're gonna go ahead and trust Jan this time, alright? Jan, I'm trusting you. You better not be betraying me. Everything else has been rather kind to me so far, so let's see. We go left. You decide. Good choice, Jan replies. The path slopes gently downwards through the shrubby forest and across the patches of dry, weary earth. The Shamutanti Hills are relatively verdant compared to the Bachlands beyond the Jabaji River, and you can see the influence of that desolation already creeping into the soil, like a spreading infection. Then, as you crest a rise, a powerful, pleasant smell reaches your nostrils, and you see off to your right path through a field of beautiful black flowers. So, Jan, can you tell me about these flowers? Who knows? Who cares? Chirps the mini-mite, dancing about on your shoulder impatiently. This is the shortest path to Torpani. Do you want to get there or not? So, my main suspicion is even that part of Jan's lack of care could be that whatever problem the flowers may cause, he is totally immune to. I, however, normal human with magic, would be incredibly bothered by it. So, I don't know about this. At the most, we'll see about maybe using some magic. What if I just set it all on fire? I'll see what I can find out for myself, you tell the creature. Good luck with that, Jan replies. You clear your mind, trying to ignore the smell rising from the field, and ready a spell. I could even straight up read the mind. Well, hang on. I always start proposing that idea of, I could do this, but if it doesn't give me the option to cast that spell, I can't exactly do that. Our options are H, N, M, and S. Which means reading mind is not an option. I could use magic defense, so if this smell was something magical in nature, I would be able to defend myself from it. Saying as S is here also, I can use sus to determine if I'm getting anything concerning here. HU? I don't think HU is anything we can cast. Huff? Create wind, huh? That's a shame. If we had Huff, we would have been able to just cast away all the scent, and then we wouldn't have needed any worry at all. Yeah, so if we did mag, we would be protected by magic. So you know, since we used sus, we're gonna go with this. You weave the spell, but although you feel yourself weaken, nothing happens. Wait, what? Jen shakes his little head. Very sorry to have to tell you this, but there's no point trying your magic while I'm around. I'm afraid mini-mites and magic don't mix. Yeah, Jan, you little shit. You could have told me before I cast my fucking spell. Hello? And you know what, Jan? Since you're not going to provide us any additional information about this path, I'm also going to say, fuck it. I'm going the other way. Seeing as when I actually got over here also, the only comment that Jan had made was like, oh, who cares about the flowers? That doesn't give me any confidence or safety about going through when Jan's like, let's go this way because it's shorter. So, Jan, I don't know about you. And also, hello there, Bird Bob, and welcome to the stream, and thank you for following. Very nice. So I'm turning back and going the other way. There is something about the flowers that makes you uneasy. We're going the other way, you tell Jan, turning back and heading downhill once more. The mini-mite complains, but does not leave your shoulder. Alright, you climb a rise. The way is not too steep, and as noon approaches, you have crested the ridge and are descending yet again. You are now at the highest point of the hills, where the trees are thin. The view west goes on forever, and sometimes you catch glimpses of Care on the northern horizon. 9 out of 18. Let's go ahead and stop and eat. Taking a brief pause, you eat the last of your provisions, and feel better for it. Then you continue along the path. Jan is in a talkative mood and fills the air around with his chatter about what he can see, about how things smell, and what he plans to do once he makes his fortune in Care. It's enough to make you wonder if you could sell him as a companion to a blind old lady somewhere. Suddenly, I'm like, wow, I wish I did not bring Jan along. Fuck Jan. You pass from the open hillside into a patch of deep forest. Quite suddenly, Jan falls quiet and hisses in your ear, Stop! Stop now! Why? Because insists the creature in a tiny voice. Because something is following us. You come to a dead stop. Jan is right. Something is moving through the trees behind you. A moment later, a point of steel has emerged from the darkness between two trees and touches your neck. You've seen me, whispers a voice. I know it. Toxic, poor Jan. Fuck Jan. They're not gonna be honest and tell me everything they know. Yeah, I like, they've jumped out, putting blade to my neck, and I'm like, and I keep walking. We'll go ahead and answer them. I see nothing, you call back. You are quite safe. It is not I who is not safe, returns the voice. Who is there? There is no reply, but the tall, dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and you had not seen him a moment before, even though he had been standing a mere arm's length away. He wields a sharp scimitar in his expert hands. Alright, that means it's time for battle. Definitely going to cast a spell that can help me out. Oh no, they're badass. Oh. Okay, and I like sap is not an option, so I can't make them afraid to fight me, unfortunately. We've got some W's in here, so we could cast something like shield, which would help me out. I don't have any beeswax, and R isn't an option anyway. Could I zap him? No, that does cost 3 stamina. Essentially, that's kind of like, do I want to use 3 attacks worth? What other options? With K, I also see there's some Fs, too. But there's no... Beyond Featherfall, there's no other F spell I have. Wait, no, there is Foff. I wonder if I could cast a force field. No, I can't cast a force field. I can only cast fixed. But I can't do that because I don't have a Staff of Oak. No K spells. I don't know why it's giving me that option then. Zap is the only Z. I feel like perhaps walk would be good. Get a shield for defense. And I do have a good amount of gold. So, let's do that. What? Nothing happens? What the fuck? That's not fair. Let's fight. Alright, we proceed with the same type of caution here. So, the assassin nods at you, raises his curved sword in salute, and then takes position. Alright, I crouch defensively. He covers himself as well. Closing his eyes, he murmurs a quick prayer as he sets his... I should have prayed to my spirit to heal, god damn it. Oh yeah, fucking... Jan cancels out magic. I fucking just learned that, commented on it, and I cast a spell anyway. Holy hell. I can't believe I just did that. I learned nothing, apparently. I think I'm going to just continue to defend, because then if he attacks me, big attack... This kind of gives me a good gauge. He attacks with 6.6. You hold firm. Defends again, that way he can also regain. He hangs back and watches you without a motion. If I do big attack, up here with 8, nope. He defends. Yeah, I kind of figured he was going to strike me like that right afterwards. Both defend. He circles away. What did he do before? When I was circling around him and he hung back. Rush forward with the impact clangs, grins. He is left breathless but otherwise unharmed. Okay, you can see here he's readying his blade. And right here, he's circling. So let's defend again. He watches you in return. Let's defend. We wait patiently. He steps a little away. What if we do big attack again? Nope, he's defending. See, and now he's mouthing a quick prayer. What I could do is bait him, I think. We defend. And we're going to continue to defend. So what we're going to do this time, see, he's watching us without emotion. And he's probably going to continue. See, he's continuing to circle. We do tiny poke. We just kind of go, beak. Bonk. 1 damage. See, when they defend, that's all you need. And now he's flicking. See, leaping into action, you sting with your blade, low and fast, saving your energy. The impact clangs against his weapon. He smiles. He is bruised, but not seriously hurt. The assassin flicks the blade through the air, crouching as he moves. Now we do big attack. Alright, he's murmuring a mantra that makes it sound like he's preparing an attack. And he did. We defended. The assassin raises a sword above his head, crouching as he moves. If he's preparing an attack, he's not going to be doing anything big because he's already used big attack with 7.8. So we've done big attack, hit him. He's got 1 stamina left. So if he defends, even a little poke would get him. But we don't want to do that. The assassin's breath is coming in short gasps. He closes his eyes for a moment to steady himself. My duty is to sever your head from your neck, the assassin says in a voice as cold as polished marble. You will not hold me from it. We defend. You tuck down into a low stance, but you roll out of the way, mostly unhurt. The assassin turns his sword about, crouching as he moves. He's moving his sword. I think when he moves his sword, he's going to attack. We're going to defend. And now he's rotating his grip. I'm going to go ahead and do a big attack because I'm going to take him out regardless. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing more than he is. And I am, so he's dead. However, I did not do the fight very well since I lost 6 stamina total. Charged forward with a deep, heavy swipe. He is off balance and moving slowly, and the blade goes deep. He turns and tumbles, releasing his sword as he topples. I am not so proud as to not admit when I am beaten, he groans. You may finish me if you so choose to, but if you do me an honor and use my own blade. Alright, we continue. The assassin is not dead, but lies on the floor, gasping. He says, do me an honor and use my own blade. I might be able to keep his weapon if I do kill him. I feel like because of my character is very serious. I just got attacked by this assassin. So fuck him. We're gonna finish him and search his body. And thank you for following, Sonadora. Appreciated. Very nice. Oh, and cheering 5 bits. I take the clovers. Thank you. It's very nice. And welcome. With a single blow, you finish the assassin. He dies with his lips pursed in a silent prayer, not cursing you, but commanding his own soul to a better place. You rifle his body for a measly 3 gold pieces, then continue on the path, out of the woods and onto the dusty hillside. Jan, for a brief while, says nothing. Perhaps he is shocked. Silence doesn't last long. What do you mean I can't take his scimitar with me? God damn. Fine, whatever. I leave the trees. By the way, cougar, it is passionless, a creature of heat and sun, whose every breath is calm and quiet. The cougar does not hunt, but waits for his prey to wander beneath his claws. We'll save that, perhaps a little bit later, and then we'll heal up if we can. The real win would be if Jan had died. True. How much longer do you think we'll be traveling today? The Mini-Mite on your shoulder asks. I'm hungry and tired. We've got such a long way. Well, you can stop here. The mini-mite complains. You'd like that. I'm sure you would. You continue along the path around the side of a hill. A wooden hut is set into the slope with an old woman sitting on the front step. A river seems to emerge from behind her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows beneath her house, and the house itself is set on its splayed struts like an insect, straddling the watercourse. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears. Alright, now I'm just gonna pray for healing here. Success. And now I'm going to try and sneak past. I know Jen might be cute, but he won't shut up and he makes it so I can't use magic either. So big loss. You leave the path to the left, intending to slip around behind the house, where the woman cannot see you. Where are you going? The mini-mite complains. It seems to be as irritated with you as you are with it. That's not the path, you fool! At the sound of his voice, the old woman looks up and waves. Come over here, won't you? She calls. I can barely see you. I look at Jan. Now I know I'm not going to be able to be sneaky anywhere either, thanks to this pipsqueak. And welcome, Kraken. Welcome to the stream. Returned. Back to see this old woman. Alright, we come over to the woman. Hi there. You approach her. She smiles a toothless smile and gets up from the step. Oh, come in, please, she beckons. Oh, I get so lonely living out here on my own away from the village. Maybe we could pawn off Jan on the old lady, but I'm kind of suspicious. Let's stay outside for the moment. You shake your head. I should not stay too long. I have a long journey still to make. Oh, of course, she replies. We'll have tea out here on the step. She sounds almost nervous. Uh-oh. That's suspicious. Hurrying to her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Watch it, Jen whispers in your ear. I don't trust this one. Not that I care what happens to you, of course. Oh. Is Jen as they say, tsundere? And unfortunately, I can't cast something like sus to check out if the tea's any good. Thanks to Jan being here. So let's just talk to the old lady. The tea is still hot. You cup it between your hands as you speak. So, what's your name? They call me Gazamoon, she replies with a smile. I used to be quite well known, in my way. You nod, but you've never heard of her. Sure is nice looking up here. I like the little river. Good looking waterfall. Nice sounds. This is the top of the Crystal Waterfall, she says. The river runs right under my house. They say it carries all my goodness and youth away while I sleep. And the villagers bathe in it for luck. She giggles meanly. I'm sure it isn't quite true. Oh. Old lady's full of herself over here. So, why do you live alone? Are you so ugly? Oh, she smiles sweetly. No one bothers about me. Why would they? You smile and nod. They don't bother her because she causes problems. I don't think she's a good person either. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly, I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. I book it. I'm leaving. Bye. There's something very wrong here. While the woman's back is turned, you try to slip away. But she hears your footsteps and calls out, come back here! Please come back! You keep walking. The woman suddenly begins to scream incoherently. Little Jan is shaking now. Suddenly, there is cracking sound to your left. You wheel around to see a colossal tree swaying, its trunk split, leaning. Uh-oh. I can't cast a spell. There is cracking sound to your left. So if I dodge to it, am I going to dodge into the tree? I'm going to dodge right. You dodge right quickly. The tree falls exactly where you had been standing. Blow her up. I can't, Dunder. Jan's making it, so I can't use magic. What I could do, I should really just say, like, hey, Jan, just go hang out with her for a few minutes while I continue to escape, and then I will wait for you to catch up. And then she wouldn't be able to cast any spells at me. Picking yourself up, you find the old woman standing in front of you. You do wrong to ignore the invitation of Gaza Moon, she declares, pointing a crooked finger at you. Her hand is crackling with blue energy. A lightning bolt is only milliseconds away. We're gonna dodge right again. You try to move, but there's no time and she's too close. The sorceress Gaza Moon's blast catches you square in the heart. Uh-oh. I die. Rip. Okay. Time to travel back in time. I blame Jan. Yeah, because if Jan wasn't here, we could cast magic at the old lady, but... Can I go forward again? Nope. After I go back, it does not let me skip back forward to where I was. Oop. So let's go ahead and pray again for healing. And I'm not going to say anything about Jan this time, because Jan will just say, it's not much further. The mini-mite sighs and slumps onto your shoulder. You can continue along the path, and there's the old woman. So this time, we know Jan's going to be obnoxious and noisy, so let's just greet her. What if we actually try and sneak past instead? Keep walking away! You keep walking. Behind you, the old woman is getting angrier. Don't ignore me, peasant, she cries. Your rudeness will be punished, I can promise you. Perhaps we should see what she wants. Nah. What happens if we keep walking? Oh, yep, she's just gonna go straight out and start attacking me. So we're gonna dodge right. And now she's here, and if we try to dodge left, it still kills me. So if I dodge, I fall, and she's just gonna kill me. Okay, we approached the old lady this time. Yeah, I like just straight ignoring her and being like, yeah, whatever, bitch. So let's go ahead and stay outside again. And we're gonna take the same course where we're gonna just casually make our conversation. Not drinking the tea. We're gonna switch our cups. While she's away from the table, you switch the 2 cups around. Then she returns, you lift the one closest to you and drink. But then we get sick. You wince and cough as you find yourself seizing up. Oh, suspicious stranger, laughs the woman. I can count on travelers suspecting my witchcraft. That's kind of what I figured by the way she was acting, was that she was gonna figure that I was suspicious of her, so, I'm just gonna threaten her. I'll kill you! But you are paralyzed and quite powerless. The old woman begins to search through your bag. Jan flits about in some distress, unsure what to do. She removes your pebbles, the cloth skull cap, and stashes what she has stolen into a drawer. Then she flicks a finger and you find yourself elsewhere. Wherever you are, Jan is still with you, fluttering around your head. You bat him away. You can move! Alright. We're gonna do this again. Seeing as it's already forcing us to redo this scene a couple of times, we're gonna do it again. Now this time, what if we go inside with her? I enter in. I make conversation. This is a beautiful place. I drink the tea. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly, I've forgotten the pot. I drink it anyway. You lift your mug, blow away the steam, and take a sip as the old lady returns. The old lady lifts her own mug and takes a deep gulp. Your own tea is gently refreshing. Then she sputters and coughs and grips her side. I wait. No, actually, what if we do a reversal? And she's been robbing people. She relies on people being suspicious. We help her. Oh, is something wrong? Oh, no, she replies, trying to smile, but clearly doubled up in pain, stumbling and almost falling. She staggers to her kitchen, gulps down another drink. When she returns, she seems much better again. I'm not as young as I was, she explains. All the same, she pushes her tea to one side. But tell me, you're a traveler? And now that we're inside her house, we just have to, knock her out, and then we can rob her instead. Why, yes, I am a traveler. I'm going to Care, in fact. She claps her hands. How wonderful! Such a delightful city. Indeed, you answer. Tell me, on your journey you didn't happen to come across an old man, did you? I've met a lot of people, including old men. Of course, she answers, but this one was special, very old, and carrying a page from the spellbook. Okay, yeah, we have definitely not met this guy before. Because we haven't gotten any spellbook pages. No, I've met no one like that. Really? Oh, that's a pity. She thinks. Do you have anything of a magical nature? Nope. I'm pretty sure that skull cap is magicless, and I really just bought it so I could cast magic myself. No. Too risky to carry. You understand. I suppose so, she replies through gritted teeth. You get to your feet. I thank her for the tea. She waves you away without interest. Ugh. Go on. Go away. You step back onto the path. Jan lets out a sigh of relief. You know, she was one of the most powerful sorceresses in the hills, he whispers. I could smell it on her. You're lucky you got away alive. You shrug. A harmless old lady. She seemed fine to me, I say, continuing on. It was good tea also. Got a free cup of tea out of it. Hell yeah. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is a village of Torapani, slung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Let's look at it first. Torapani is a village of the Svin, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs. You might expect their village to be rowdy, but it seems strangely quiet. You go into the town. Still, there is no way around it, and it is too large to destroy with a fireball. You have to go through. Can't just set town on fire. I can't anyway because of Jan being with me. You enter the village. There is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svins are going about their business, slowly and miserably. You pay no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options. We're going to talk with people first, as we have been doing before. You spy a group of Svins sitting outside a low hut, and you walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend, apparently killed by the night by an assassin's curved blade. Is that why you are all afraid? You ask. We are afraid of nothing, retorts one of the Svin furiously. But no, much worse. Another Svin bangs his hand down on the table. But with Esh dead, who saved Tia? Who is Tia? Our flower. The Svin who answers wipes a tear from the corner of his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia is Chief's daughter, the other Svin says. Esh was to save her. Now Esh not alive, so Tia soon not alive. What happened to her? Goblins. They sacrifice. Sacrifice? He is unsure of the word, so mimes a gesture like stabbing downwards with a knife blade. Yes, sacrifice to great cave demon! Oh no. Trouble is, another says, our village die of chief line, and Tia is end. So if end ends, we end. Oh, very sad. Very sad, very sad, very sad. They all agree. Who are you? One asks suddenly, as if just thinking of it. He prods you in the chest. I don't want to say sorcerer because Jan's kind of fucking that. I'm a warrior. Warrior? A sudden gleam enters the biggest one's eyes. Great warrior? The greatest. No, I haven't been very boastful. I've been pretty reserved, so I say I do my best. Yeah, it does sound like though they are willing to pay very well. Best is good. Meek, Tifa, he signals to the others, who are quickly on their feet, big hefty arms, swinging for you. We take to chief. Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you onto their shoulders. Jen clings onto your shoulder, refusing to be shaken free. Where are you taking me? Let's just go ahead and wait to see what happens. I follow along with them silently. Hold my tongue. Pass through the village. Several Svens watch from doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. A few murmur blessings or maybe curses as you pass. I reach a low hut at the edge of the town. Oh, looks like I'm captured now. The door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens and your possessions are thrown inside. What? Or wait, unless they're throwing them with me. Okay, you look through them, but everything seems to be in place. Okay, they have not robbed me then. I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Pull your knees and wait. Jan goes to sleep. Nothing happens and no one comes. I should have just slept then, I guess. Too late now. Daybreak. You are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside. And then the door to the hut opens and 5 Svins come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name Procius. Chief. He slaps his chest twice. I apologize. Then he bows, brushing the dust to the floor with his sleeve. And I am dying and really need to go to the bathroom, so I will be right back, chat. Will I die? Will I not die? Who knows? Chat hears quietly in the distance a voice.
Do it.
Because Chat has been considering, with Streamer gone, they could take over the stream.
Kill her.
Perhaps they could lay a trap before the streamer returns, taking her out, taking control of the stream, playing whatever game that they want, saying what they want to say.
Do it.
They could do whatever they care to do, stream any game. They could be the ones to be Twitch famous.
Kill her.
It would be so easy. She hasn't returned back yet.
Do it.
All they have to do is lay a bit of a trap to take her out.
Kill her.
What does Chat do? Does Chat make the decision to destroy the streamer? Or does Chat wait patiently for the streamer's return? One Chat member considers, turning to his compatriots. I think we should rush the streamer. Another Chat member nods. Yes, rush the streamer. Another, however, considering the voice they're hearing, oh no, I have a murderous voice in my head again, oh! That Chat member is left undecided. Thanks for the advice, voice, but I'm too sleepy to murder, says Chat member, rubbing their eyes, just sitting from the side, observing the ones who are shouting to go and take her out. Other Chat member planted a landmine at 472. She will never figure out how to play Minesweeper in time. Haha, a smile. Another Chat member had already laid traps for the streamer, so it seems the Chat had been trying this entire time, agreeing together, nodding. Yes, we should destroy her, defeat the streamer. One smarter Chat member taps his head. All you need to get is her gamer license. The other Chat members nod, considering this idea. However, they're already bloodthirsty with landmines laid, knives in hands. No, we must destroy her. We don't need to report her to the gaming authorities if we just kill her. The one Chat member who had been concerned about the voices notices on their napkin it says they're Caco now. He jumps to his feet to join the others. Yes, we must rush the streamer. The streamer walks back and sits down casually, avoiding a strange object that they noticed upon the ground, and they sit. Oh, hello there, Chat. I grab the Chat. I'm sorry to say, though, that my sources told me that you were planning something devious, and I can't allow that to happen around here. I hold them over a wooden platform, and then I release. The boards break beneath them easily, and they fall down into a pit that had been hidden below. Down the Chat members fall. They do not die, but they're now trapped down at the bottom of that pit. I walk up to the edge and gaze over. Don't worry. A ladder will be put down. One of the Chat members, as they fall, casts Featherfall, allowing them to come to a gentle landing at the bottom at the very least, so they're not too injured much beyond the initial impact with the wood. I will come back at the end with a ladder, and then you may leave nicely. By the way, Splinter, I see you have just entered. It's unfortunately you got caught up on all of this. But that's the way it is. Welcome anyway. Don't worry. I wheel up a screen and face it downwards. That way you can still watch as I complete this game. I return back to my chair and sit down. All right, chat. Shall we go ahead and continue our game, with me, the rightful streamer, and you, the chat member viewers? Again, don't worry, I will return to this little pit with a ladder so you may properly leave at the end. Now, let's go ahead and return to our story, shall we? So, here we have just met with the chief, and we will answer. We're not going to rush him. He is apologizing here nicely. So, I am a little bit disturbed that I was just thrown into that hut without further explanation, so I'm a little bit curt here. Tell me what you want. He holds up a hand. First, he waves to a menial who brings in bread and milk. Oh shit, he's bringing snacks. I eat the snacks. Because what's clearly happening here is that they want to save Tia, but don't have the means to do them so themselves, or they're concerned if they fail, the punishment they would receive in their failure. So they need someone, an outsider, to try and take care of things for them. So if they just went ahead and killed me, they can't exactly do anything. They can't exactly get my help if I'm dead. So methodically, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poisoned, and it nourishes you. The bowl is removed, and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth. Jan cowers under your own cloak, hoping to go unnoticed. I have need of you and your strength. Very well. Tell me about it. The chief nods. I shall. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon. Below. She deserves it, I say, slapping him and leaving. Okay, so you're wanting me to rescue her. The chief nods. Succeed, and you may choose your reward. Fail, and he shrugs. If I fail, that means I'm dead, and it's no sweat off their brow, but that means Tia's not saved either. And hello there, Finisar, and welcome. I motion to a nicely opened chair. Make sure you avoid the pit that everybody else has been cast down into. You can sit over there. And very well, I'll go ahead and save Tia. They're a bunch of orcs, so I think I could get something good out of it. Seeing as they do say you may choose your reward. Hey, no fair? Well, see, Finisar wasn't here when you were trying to overthrow everybody. So, he's fine. The rest of you? The chief nods. I hope you will. He gestures to the other Svins who, still taking no chances, grab you by the arms and haul you to your feet. I guess now we're taken to a crack in the ground. You are led along a short pathway through the forest to a crack in the ground. One Svin has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down into the pit of the earth itself. You will pay me richly for this, I say, descending. The Svins nod. The chief replies, we are poor, but we will try. Good. Watch the darkness, he declares as they start to lower you down. From your shoulder, Jan murmurs, oh, we're in trouble now. He shivers. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing, but a slight breeze suggests endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, and trapped. Something clatters to your feet from above. One of the Svins shouts something down to you. Well, he threw it down, so I think it's probably there. So I'm gonna feel around on the ground and find what he just threw down. Can we squish Jan? I wish. You crouch down and feel around your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up. It is a dry wood torch. Something else falls from above and strikes you on your head. Tinderbox, calls the voice. I feel around for it and grab that too. I would curse at them, but whatever. I just mumble quietly to myself and I light the torch. Let's continue on, further below. At the far end, passageways disappear to the left and right. Through an uneven rockfall at the end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. We're gonna listen, see if we can't hear that murmur a little bit better. You clamber over the rocks at the edge of the cavern to investigate the sound. It is a whimpering coming from the other pile of stones. The Svin girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but then the cave is blocked off her path. You'll have to find another way to reach her. Far end of the cavern, you hear a murmur, so we listened for those rocks. But I'm not sure otherwise what way we should go. I guess since dodging right succeeded us before, let's go ahead and go right again. You turn right, creeping slowly forward. The passageway slopes down a short way, then ends in a T-junction. Two stones are stacked on top of one another against the wall here. We look at the stones. There's nothing special about the two stones, except that they happen to be on top of one another. Well, I guess I'll keep going right then. You take the right-hand tunnel. The tunnel twists and bends sharply, as if carved by a river now long since dried away. You lose all sense of which way is which, except to keep going forward where the tunnel splits. I keep going to the right. Alright, move through the opening in the right wall. The going is suddenly more difficult, and you realize that the tunnel is climbing at quite a sharp gradient. The stones rattle and roll away downwards into the dark. The highest point, the passage you are following, finishes at another fork. As you enter, two stones roll down. I go right again. The cave walls crush in close, as though the rock is squeezing you to death. Your shoulders rub against the walls. When you feel certain you can go no further, the path you are creeping through forks again. Another pair of stones are stacked in the corner. I go right. You follow the passageway when you hear an echo of whimpering, coming up the corridor. Your torchlight falls across a frail shape. Hiding in the shadows is the young Svin girl, stacking stones into hundreds of little towers. Look at that! All you had to do is continuously go right, and boom, there's the girl. I look for traps. You run the torchlight around the walls of the cavern. No switches or triggers that you can see. The girl watches you with silent fear, and then the torchlight falls on a deep scratch in the rock. Claw mark. Suddenly, there is loud roaring from the mouth of the short cavern. The walls begin to shake and crumble. The Svin stone towers topple and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a mean shaft of light. But before you can head for it, the roar sound is joined by a scream from the Svin girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is there something wrong? Something coming closer? Perhaps the roaring is the wind rushing through the tunnels. I don't know about that one. It's sounding more like, some type of monster come to devour her. Something is coming, certainly. I can pray for healing again from the dolphin. Hey, dolphin. Spirit heard me, thank God, 17 out of 20 HP. You hear the scrambling sound of claws on rock, and the exit from the tunnel is blocked by a dark and looming shape. A manticore. Huge. Terrible. It stands between you and the light, and howls in a bloody rage. I look at I can't use any magic thanks to Jan, and that I'm remembering not going to try and waste any of my stamina casting magic. Manticore is a foul hybrid created by the evil sorcerers of old and steeped in bitter self-hatred. It has a lion's body and the tail of a scorpion, but its face is that of an old man, and its thoughts are cruel and resentful. As you see, it rears back, flapping two enormous wings on its back. It's time to battle. And we're gonna start by defending. Holy shit. Fucking 11.7. And look at my power at maximum. Okay, I can still do 9. It's just shrunk down a little bit. Probably that way his can be very big. Judging by the fact that the 11.7 is up here at the top, his maximum is probably then 12. So we want to keep that in mind. So, I've guarded, he's attacked me, braced myself. I wonder if he's going to try and attack again or defend. Oh, he did attack. And now with a 4.5 and that 11? Man, he just keeps attacking me. Is he going to defend this time? I cut him with 4. He did. Oh my god, and I just barely got him. Hell. The creature snarls and snaps its jaws. You must finish this monster before it finishes you. Standing firm, you swing a mighty stroke against the monster, just as the manticore swings its tail down like a hammer stroke. As it rears, you push your sword up into its exposed belly. It curses you in an almost human tongue. I defend. Hits with 5.3. Sven girl edges nearer, as if thinking of scratching the creature with her claws. It's scared, she whispers to you. You might not believe me, but you've scared it. What? Apparently the manticore is spooked by me? I'm gonna hit it with a 6. Alright, in the darkness of the cave, it's hard to read the monster's intentions, but he cannot wait forever. I race. It attacks. I defend. So since it did 1.2, it's going to do a larger attack, which means this time it's going to do a smaller attack. Ooh, not that much smaller though. Oh, it only did 1 that time. It seems to somewhat kind of go back and forth between larger and smaller. Here's 3.8. Then 5.8. Only 0.9. See, it's like medium, medium, small. Small. Hang on. So if it did small, it's doing a bigger one. And then I think it would do another medium one. And then it's going to do a smaller one. Go, oh, hang on. Go for its throat. The Sven girl dries out. Okay, I do a big charge at him. So it seems like I'm never going to do more than 2 damage, so I don't want to do any big attack. Going to defend. Medium. Smaller. I'm just barely beating him right now. I'm not doing a very good job. I defend. Get back up my energy. I'm gonna do 5.8 here. He did 1.1. I only need 1 more, decent attack here. Uh-oh. The creature howls at you. You hear a distant tunnel collapsing. Alright, I did very poorly. I might try this fight again. I'm almost dead. let's go ahead and do this one more time now that I've got a little bit more practice. He does huge attack, and then from then on, he pretty much varies between small and big. So we're gonna hit him with a 5. I barely get him. And I'm going to attack with a 5 again because I don't think he does the big 3 times in a row. So he does small here. Alright. And wow, 1 bit. Thanks, Venusaur. I take the singular bit and I eat it. That's a good raccoon bit. Tasty. 5.7. That means his next shouldn't be too big. I'll attack with a 5 again. See, 1.2. Defends to regain my strength. 3.8. I'm a little bit nervous that he's going to attack with a bigger. No, he's attacking with the 1. I wait. He gets me with 5. You the 6. 3.7. Okay, I'm going to defend one more time. He does 4.5 here. I think maybe... Let's find out. I do a 4.5. Oh, shit. Bad move. I should have attacked him right afterwards, though. Alright. It's like I've pretty much... I think if I notated it down, you could say thoroughly, I would get it better. Because he did 1.2. Do 6. Ooh, that got him with a -3. Holy hell. She's saying go for its throat. If I just straight cut him, yes, I did get him there. I'm gonna have to defend this attack, though, because I don't have enough stamina to retaliate against him. Here we go with 4.6, dealing the final damage. This time I only lost 12 instead of 14, so we're just gonna go with that. Let's continue. That was my grandmother's bit. Well, I guess now your grandmother's bit is in my stomach. I'm not throwing it back up. Oh, wow. Double pog. That's 2 bits this time. I eat both of the bits. Chomp. Chomp. A chomp for each bit. The only noise in the chambers is the hammering of your heart and the quiet breathing of the Svin girl. Then, the mini-mite breaks out into a loud cheer, whooping and punching the air. You bow to him. Thank you, the girl murmurs, then tugging at your arm. This way. She leads you towards the light, through a gap in the rocks, to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Oh, we make our escape. You wave the torch, hoping to attract attention. We're gonna have the girl call up to prove that she's fine. Girl, call to your father. The Svin child nods mutely, then bawls at the top of her lungs. Prospius! Procius, I'm here! Then something drops down, a rope with a basket on the end. The girl first, calls a voice from above. Procius. Hell no, I come up first. No. I come up first because if she comes up first, you have no incentive to help me. If I come up first, you still have to help her up regardless. So, excuse me. You found those 2 bits on the ground? Good, that adds flavor. The rope doesn't move. The girl, they call. The girl comes first. No. I stay put. No chance, you call back. I don't trust you further than I can spit. You get me out first, then you can rescue your daughter. A minute passes. Presumably, the Svins are talking it through. The girl is looking at you, eyes wide with fear. Defiantly, Jan flutters off your shoulder and onto the shoulder of the girl. I'm okay with this. I don't know why I want to swap places. I'm gonna wait. You fold your arms and wait. You are right. This way no one loses. The Savins reach the same conclusion after a short conference. The basket begins to move upwards. The Savin girl, her filmy eyes reflecting the terrible ordeal she has endured down here in the dark, watches every inch of your journey upwards, trying not to cry. When you reach the surface, the Savins haul you out bodily and toss you away to one side. Don't worry, Proceus calls down. It's your turn now. And then I need to wait because I want to get my prize. I rescued her, now give me my reward. You sit, nursing your injuries, and wait as the Savins haul up the rope. When the girl emerges, her face is lit with a brilliant smile that every inch reflects the sunlight she has not seen for so long. Her father scoops her up and carries her on his neck, as she jabbers and tells them of your bravery in defeating the Manticore. The Savins, hearing how close the beast came to hurting their daughter, realize how much they owe you. Grudgingly, they welcome you back to the village, if you wish to go. Oh, hell yeah, I'm going back to the town, dude. Come on, we're gonna have a party over here, yeah? And now I can use magic, it's true. You will take what you are offered. You nod. I will come. As you enter the village, it erupts into celebration. Look at them all. They're all so happy. You are given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. A visit to the healing priest treats your wounds, and when you emerge, it is to find the village, before so somber and silent, now in full life. Flowers are tied to every rooftop, and bands of Svins are playing music on long, strangely shaped lyres. You are whisked away to dance by Proceus's daughter, before the chief can give you his thanks again. Look, I've even gotten restored full stamina. The night is glorious. That night you sleep heavily, and rise the next morning to continue your journey. The chief meets you before you go. My good friend, he declares, you have saved us. He presses 2 gifts into your hands, a pouch of fucking 10 gold pieces, a fortune for a place like this, and a key. This opens the South City Gate of Care, he tells you. I hope it is use. And now that means it's time to go. You take your leave. The path winds away from Torpani, and soon you are on a downward slope, away from the Shamutanti Hills, through stepped rice fields. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Though Care is a busy city, there is no honor among thieves, and beyond Care there is nothing but the vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in the days ahead. Oh wow, and 10 bits as a quest reward? Wow! Thanks, Finisar. I eat the 10 bits. Tasty. In the distance rises the wall of a great city, the first true stonework you have seen since you left home. From your shoulder, you feel Jan hop away into the air. I thought you were hanging out with Tia still. What the fuck? I didn't mind the Manticore, he hisses, but this place I'm afraid of. Take care. You'll need it. Then he buzzes away into the sky and he is gone. You wonder if you will ever see him again. Well, who fucking cares then? He is gone. Free of Jan. See ya. Now I can actually cast magic again. I do a little dance as I head down the path, happy to be free of Jan. Look, you can see my piece just faintly up there, still swinging back and forth. Your journey through the Shamutanti Hills is completed. Along the way, you have made no useful friendships, but have been given the key to the Gates of Care. You have collected a few magical artifacts, a cloth skullcap, and 3 pebbles. You are still armed only with your original sword, and have no rations and 29 gold pieces, and a spell book. And thus, this adventure continues in Sorcery 2, Care, City Port of Traps. Cloud Save will save the story so far to our server and give you a code to use at the start of part 2. I save to the cloud. My spell name is Firive. I guess I'll notate it down in the case that we do come back to continue our story. Shorter than I thought it was. Yeah, I think that's why they combined the first two parts together, as I suppose they're shorter than the rest, since there's more parts of this game. I think 4 total? Part 2 is very long in comparison, I think. Oh. Well. Fyrive. I'll think about it. Maybe we'll come back and continue. At the very least, I like to play through here part 1. We got a nice story. Our character, serious, to the point, following and trying to go as quickly as she can through the entire journey. Pausing only to rescue Tia, really. And you know, chat, I had considered while I was going to the bathroom, the fucking old lady, what was it, Gazamoon? It was totally the case that she was nervous because by staying outside, had she drunk her tea, she wouldn't be able to dash to her kitchen to drink something else instead. So if we had taken the drink while we were outside of her hut, she probably would have died there, and then we could have gone inside and robbed her. So, hell, clearly bad choice to go inside for the tea. At least I didn't die. And now I've got our spell name. And there we go. Now I'm going to lower down the music there. And thus ends the stream for today. Thank you everybody for coming on by to watch. This time I do recall Veneer did put in the big drop for emote, so I am going to update it since I am remembering to do so. Which takes us to 175. Perhaps we will come back to this and continue it next week. And as I check the date, yes, not this week, but the following will be 1-3, which means it will be time for the chat's choice game, where I will be playing Spiritfarer with Petri. As a reminder, I'm also going to see if Petri is free for this coming weekend, and if so, perhaps we'll do a multiplayer game then together, maybe? It all depends on Petri's schedule, because clearly I'm going to be available for my own stream. Imagine me coming along. Sorry, chat, I just got so gosh darn busy and I'm not going to be able to stream for my stream today. Imagine if that was the case. But no. So the concern is only if Petri's busy at all. I'll have to check with her. But otherwise, potentially Sorcery next week, potentially Petri next week. Otherwise, you can just hang around and see what games are happening for the next week. And as many bits are channel points are thrown out, let me go ahead and just take care of them too, I suppose. If I remember them, I'll actually take care of them here at the end. 6. Yes, that means 81. Complete. Check, check. All right. So, thank you everybody for coming on by to watch. Thank you for those who have followed. And thank you for the resubscriptions as well as the little bits. I gather up the bits. Or I would if I hadn't eaten basically all of them. Actually, I have 5 here. I grabbed them from Sonadora earlier, and I'm gonna go ahead and eat these too. Delicious. Now, let's see. Kitty is streaming currently. she's playing some World of Warcraft. So I guess that means you'd be sitting laid back and enjoying whatever you do on World of Warcraft. Beats me. And there we go. So, again, thank you everybody for coming on by to watch, and I hope you all have a lovely time. Farewell.